I just finished mine.
Yeah. Go.
Hey, this is Chazzy John, and we are now live. We got the boys here tonight. We're talking about the bus project, the schoolie. They're going to tell you what they're going to be doing this weekend.
Yep. My name is Lewis from All Ends Media. Wait, where's the camera? From All Ends Media. And we are at Long Shot Performance, and we got the bus in the garage, barely. She was fighting us, but we got her in. And the fellas are here. Long Shot Performance. Oh, somebody got their YouTube on. The fellas are here in town. Arco and Heidi made it in. Joey's here on the screen. We got the Iron Horse guys here. And tomorrow we're going to start setting up a little bit of stuff on the bus, getting it ready. And then Saturday it's on.
If I can ask a stupid question, it came up last week that, once the bus is in and then the roof is raised, will it get out? And if you're saying you had trouble getting it in.
No, we didn't have trouble with the height. We had trouble with turning the radius.
The length. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
We have 1 inch after we raise the roof.
Yeah, we got an inch. We got an inch left.
Oh,
You guys got to have good tape measures.
That's all we need, the inch.
Joe, you're in charge of tape measuring, brother.
It's okay. You just let a little air out of the tires and just roll it out.
Yeah, right. I've seen that happen before.
Right.
Or as my wife says, have damn good spotters making sure that you don't hit things.
It's about a arm and a half lengths clearance. So
wow.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good.
We went around the bus a little bit.
Famous last words.
Yeah, we'll be all right.
You would be all right.
Going forward's easy. Backing up is fun.
Yeah,
That
I
is true.
I backed up a couple things in my life.
Yeah.
it's a big bus. I know that. We drove right past the bus, and we were on Martin Luther King Drive. We drove right past the bus, didn't even see it.
Jeez.
And then we made the right-hand turn off of Martin Luther to come back up the road where the shop is at. And Bill's like, oh, look, there's the bus. I'm like, where was that at when we just went by there? Because we didn't even see it. But once you see it in person, it's like, wow.
Joe, do you think maybe it's because, we're all used to seeing school buses all the time. So you see another one, what's the big deal? It's just another school bus. We have lots where they put, 60, 70 of them in one spot.
Yeah, when we left there to come back up to the motel, we drove right past a parking lot area for school buses.
Sure.
And
I was the bus was sitting outside like all afternoon. I was waiting for one of the Youngstown school system mechanics to stop by and be like, is this broke down? Is this one hard?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and fix it.
Tell them no, but I know where all the spare parts are that we may need.
That's right. Somebody might be jumping the fence.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, we're about ready. As soon as the water falls off.
Lewis, you have little butterflies yet? Any hypertension, second thoughts? How are you feeling?
No second thoughts, but a little nervous and excited at the same time. You know what I mean?
Right.
I know I got a good bunch of guys that are here.
You do.
We're gonna get at it.
Yeah. Did Heidi and Arco make it there to drop tools off?
Yes. Yep.
Good.
So the Iron Horse guys, they're here.
Oh, are they there right now?
No, they just left. They're going to the hotel.
I got you.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, Heidi had to go to Walmart first, so.
Of course. They got to have the womanly thing.
Well, they just want to go where there's stores and people because they don't see that where they live, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Look at all these people.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Yeah.
Look
People
what we've
that
been
don't
missing, honey.
We don't know any of them.
Yeah. Let's say hi.
It's gonna be fun. We got some special things coming on Saturday. So some sponsors are sending some stuff. So I'll be announcing all that Saturday. And we also have we're gonna be running a lot of live stuff. So if you guys not doing anything on Saturday, keep popping in on the channel. Everybody's gonna be filming, so we're gonna have a lot of content.
It's going to be horrible weather over here on the East Coast. So.
Oh, the iguanas are dropping out of the trees.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Have you ever seen that happen? I have.
No.
Oh yeah.
Never have.
They,
Now-
they climb up in the trees, and they could be all different sizes, from like this big to like 30 pounds, and they just fall out of the tree.
They actually did a piece today on New York radio talking about that, and the guy took the time to describe what happens. Because when the freeze comes, they just go into a state of animated suspension because they're warm. They're warm weather animals, and they literally just fall out of the tree. And they said they say that they warn people not to approach them because they will wake up as it gets warmer, and then they're like, so the guy says, so what goes through an iguana's head? Like, hey, how'd I get down here? Like, what's going on?
Oh yeah.
God only
I
knows.
could see you walking down the sidewalk, have one of them drop on your head, and you go to the emergency room, and they ask you what happened. Iguana hit me in the head.
Yeah, it's common here in Florida.
You can get hurt, I guess.
Oh yeah,
you really
absolutely.
Has been drinking.
Yes, has been drinking. Yep.
Right.
Yeah, a couple of people said they're going to be sharing the feeds too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
From the sound of it, you guys have like Media Central over there. You got more cameras than the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and we're gonna have floaters that'll be filming as well while we're working. So it's gonna be a lot of content.
Boy, nobody can hide from anything now.
Nope, don't pick your
There you
nose.
go.
None of that.
Right.
Nope. You'll be on
Come
YouTube.
on. Picking your nose is fun.
Anybody? Well, there's a few guys here old enough to remember the old Bill Cosby bit where he was doing a thing about Temple University playing on the football field. The first time they get on camera, Papa Score remembers. He's like, "Don't pick your nose, don't be scratching your stuff, your junk, because you're on TV." And he had to keep reminding the guys.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
hey, Bill.
On Saturday, if everybody could reshare the live stream, that will double everybody's feed, and that'll help us out too. Because everybody's trying to get the numbers up on YouTube.
Cool.
The higher numbers you get, the more stuff they open up for you to be able to do. So we're all trying to jump it up a little bit.
They already got the memo. They don't want me
Right.
based on my Facebook history.
And Rich, thank you for the safety glasses. Rich GT350R sent us safety glasses to keep us safe. So thank you for that.
Yep. Yeah, they're
Now,
nice.
don't forget to give a good briefing before you get started about things not to do, like stick your fingers in the saw.
Yeah.
Well, they've designated me as safety coordinator for this event.
Good.
So
A prime example.
yeah, I just tell them what not to do, how to keep limbs, where not to put them.
Yeah, so we're tomorrow we'll get everybody organized what teams we're gonna put together teams, and we got some helpers coming, so we'll get them matched up with a team and do our thing.
Helpers too. Wow, this is getting sophisticated.
Wow.
Listen, we're not
Some
messing around, Ray. You guys ain't listening. We ain't messing around here.
Are you guys hearing feedback?
Yeah.
It's probably from you two sitting in the same room.
It is. Yeah.
Why don't you turn down the mic?
Yeah, one of you mute your mic. There you go.
I just turned down my mic. Does that help? I turned it off.
You turned your mic off or your sound?
Same thing.
Yeah.
You're good.
All right.
Yeah, so Tyler got a nice facility here. What do you think, Joey?
Yeah, it was all right.
It'll
I
do.
should have asked Bill. Bill, what do you think?
I think it's awesome. He's got a great place there.
Yeah, he's blind too, so. No, seriously, on a serious note, he's got an awesome shop there. It's really nice. Yep.
Thank you, Joey.
You're welcome.
So if anybody's in the tri-state area, feel free to come see Tyler at what's the name of your place?
Long Shot Performance.
Yeah, that place.
You got it right earlier.
Long Shot Performance. I called it Long Shot Customs on the film.
I've said that too. I don't know why. Yeah.
Yep.
So
You
yeah,
gotta
if you're in the New York,
clarify tri-state.
so yeah, if you're in the New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut area, stop by.
Well, we call it here too, the Ohio, Pennsylvania, Indiana.
Yeah, but tri-state to the country means
Yeah. Okay,
what grade is
Mr.
that?
Smarty Pants.
Hey man, just saying,
If
we
you're in-
started it.
If you're in the northeastern Ohio area,
There
feel
you
free
go.
to stop in.
Yeah.
We got big rolls of duct tape and zip ties.
Yeah, unless you're Arco Horton. If you're in Northeast Ohio and you're Arco Horton, don't stop by.
He's already here, baby.
Oh, darn it.
He's even got his
They're
own
in
gas
the-
stations.
They're in the same motel somewhere.
Yeah, they're around there somewhere.
Yeah.
Now, if you go out of the hotel, do not go right.
Why?
Right.
You've been in a bad neighborhood. Always go left.
Well, that's
What
where we
neighborhood is
park.
that, Louis?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You got a good 4 blocks radius before you get in the bad neighborhood.
I didn't say. We parked. You go out and you go to the right to the parking area.
Oh yeah, you're in trouble.
Everywhere you go, there's a hood. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The police station's the next block over, so you're okay for a little
Police station's usually in the hood.
They steal
Yeah.
the cars
Yeah.
right in front of it.
Yeah.
There's a car sitting on bricks.
In my area, you just go by how nice the road is. If the road is really smooth and nice, you're in a bad part of the neighborhood. If it's crappy and bumpy, that's a safe spot.
What'd you say?
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Huh? Well, because they're putting all that money into the inner projects and making them better, but it's usually the roughest part of the neighborhood. That's
Make them
Street
proud
selling.
of their area.
Yep. Keep it clean, trying to clean it up. News. But the safest place is the nastiest roads there are, the biggest potholes.
Wow.
Really?
Yep.
It's weird.
It's that's the American dream, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Michael Knight will be here tomorrow. Looking forward to meeting you. What else we got? No, if he comes on. So yeah, what's going on with you guys? Anything good this week?
You're paying attention to what you're doing. Nobody else has a chance to do anything else.
Yeah, we have been hitting the media circuit pretty good.
Yeah.
Hitting. My phone's been
You've
ringing.
taken it
buzzing.
over, man. You've dominated it.
Yeah, well, it's
That's
going to be
okay.
a fun project, man. We really excited,
Forward
man.
to it.
It's going to be fun. And I'm going
How
to
many
come see all of you.
GoPros you got set up?
I got a couple with me. Tyler, you got a couple, right?
Yep, I got 2 set up, and then I've been actually thinking about doing a. I have a cell phone that I no longer use that I'm thinking about putting on my Wi-Fi, and I'll put it up above the bus, kind of like a front quarter angle shot, and I might either on my personal Facebook. I think I'm restricted from going live because they're blue flag waving Nazis. But I believe I can go live on my shops page, and I might just get that going live and leave it run all day. So anyone who wants can pop in and check out, see what's going on and whatnot.
That's cool.
Yeah, we'll be live on YouTube and Facebook. Or at least my channel will be.
I gotta check. I don't think I can go live for some reason. I don't know.
No, they want to watch you in your view, John, and make sure everything is right.
They shadow ban me.
Right.
I'll wait a little while here, but then I'm going to go down and see if I can get this room for one more
So,
night.
I don't know. I don't really let it bother me much.
So, guys, we still have time to drive up to Ohio. So feel free to come over if you want to.
It's cold enough here. You think I'm gonna go there?
Dude, it was 7 below when I went to work this morning.
Gonna get down into the 30s here.
Iron Horse is trying to get in up here.
17 this morning.
I need to go down a little bit.
My washer fluid
Oh,
was
they're
frozen.
they are really. I'm gonna see if I can get your
I had
speaker.
to call my co-host. Hey, what am I going to do?
Right.
Up to about 19, it thought out enough to work. So, okay.
Wow.
It's
What's
cold
going
weather.
on? You're in a new
I
location.
wonder if they
now.
decided
Where are
to
you at?
switch hotels. Oh, I don't know.
Wait, what's wrong?
I saw a bed bug over
I don't know if he can't hear
Yeah.
us. Can't.
You found a bed bug?
Not here. Huh?
Wait, what did you say, Bill?
No, that was Joey. He said he wanted to. I guess Iron Horse is over here now, and I'm trying to fix his audio here. So Joey's going downstairs to let him in. I hope I'm not sleeping with one of those guys tonight.
Hey, just
Spooning leads to forking.
Did you guys? Hey, did you guys get the bus in the shop?
yeah, it's in. Thanks.
Oh, I can sleep there.
Thanks for your help. I'll be back at 8 o'clock.
I feel safer there. This place is really nice.
Yeah, it really is. I take my wife down there just to get away.
Yeah.
We live up the street. The
Is that where you make
restaurant.
all the movies, Lewis?
Do what?
Is that where you make all the movies?
No, we do those. It's too hard to bring the cameras, you know. We stay at home with that. They got a really good restaurant too. Make sure you eat there, bistro.
Lewis, how do you know about the bistro in a hotel that's right by your house? Because I never go into one that's by my house.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a known restaurant in our area. So
Okay. Oh.
you know, we go eat there. There's a lot of nice restaurants in downtown Youngstown. So you know, we got good food around here. You'll see.
Okay.
A lot of Italian food. We got
Good
everything.
barbecue. Nothing like good barbecue.
Yep. So Bill, they're meeting for breakfast in the morning, I guess, somewhere. Where you guys meeting?
There's a restaurant about.
I got the aluminum donkey. Oh, hey, we just got a crowd that showed up here.
I don't know if we're busting up the party or not.
How you guys doing?
How's it going, Bill?
Good, man.
Yeah.
JR.
Doing good.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
The aluminum donkey just walked in. We're live on and trash.
Yeah, we just left him actually.
Yeah.
What up,
Yeah,
brother?
your audio is
Yeah, it's whack. That stuff. My audio's bad, so I can't hear you guys if you're talking.
Nobody say nothing.
You guys are doing?
Yeah.
Just be quiet.
Guys had dinner? Guys not together?
We had lunch basically.
I'm gonna mute this. Yeah, I see you over there. I'm gonna mute this minute and talk to these guys. I'll be right back.
All right. So yeah, we got a crew here, man. It's about to go down. Yep.
You guys are crazy.
Did he say something about aluminum fabrication?
Well, the Iron Horse. What do you call him?
He called him the aluminum donkey.
The aluminum donkey. The aluminum donkey. I don't know. I hope I don't see an episode of Cops with these guys on there because, you know.
You start hearing bad boys. What you gonna do?
Listen, do you ever recognize that a lot of those are in Ohio?
Yeah, I know. It's either Ohio or Florida.
Well, Sarasota, Florida. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's a biggie.
Newport Richie.
back in you know when what was that other one? PD Live or whatever. I think it was PD
Cops
Live.
Live or something.
No, it was PD. It was on A&E, and it was I think it was PD Live, and they had it was down in southern. They had one of the police stations was down in southern Maryland, and of course everybody that was pulled over down there was DUI or DWI or whatever. And it got so bad that the county council had told them that they had to leave because it was given a bad rep about how it wasn't all these drunk drivers down here and so forth.
Wow.
And it was funny because the Mako guy down there, he'd watch it on Friday night and know who's not going to be there next week because the customer pulled over.
Wow.
And so it was kind of, they had like 2 or 3 seasons here on the early ones, and they said you had to get out of here because I don't know what's going on in that room now. I tell you. If we see a donkey walk across, that's it. We need to block that screen.
Lights, camera, action.
They're making that movie down there, Lewis.
Yeah, we're not at that location.
That's good.
There you go.
Yeah, sorry, I had to
talking about what they're doing.
Oh, yeah, you guys are in trouble now.
Oh boy.
Solo layout.
So Lewis, when is all this madness going to start?
What do you think they're saying?
This looks like surveillance video.
Yeah,
It
right.
does. I'm waiting to see like
Right?
the glassine envelopes pass, and
It's
the
got all
FBI
the
break in.
crappy resolution and
Yeah,
I know.
horrible lighting. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
black and white.
You better let them know not to walk across in their boxers.
Or at least make sure they have on their boxes, please.
Yeah, it'd be kind of.
Oh, it's too much.
Rich from Rich GT 350 has donated a couple safety kits too. Man, we really appreciate you, dude. Yeah, we really appreciate it because I'm sure somebody's gonna poke an eye out.
GT350 is a heck of a car.
Oh yeah.
I got respect for GT350s.
Hey, Lewis, I got to say, Eric from Destroyer 1320, he's a great host.
Yes, he is. Yes,
Fantastic host.
he's in the chat room.
Cool.
Yes, Eric, thank you for having us on, and we had a great time. And I'm gonna steal some of your ideas, just so you know. Yeah, he was a great host. You guys got to go check out his channel, Destroyer 1320
Yeah.
on YouTube. Yeah, go check him out and subscribe, like, and share. All that good stuff.
Have to get him on the radio show.
Yeah, we're gonna have him on as a guest. See any questions? Let's see what's going on.
Somebody, I don't know who said it. Somebody asked verbally when this is going on.
Oh,
I don't know if that was Jim or
yeah.
Yeah.
Saturday at 8:00. We're starting at 8.
Yep.
And we're gonna go until
8 a.m. is coffee and donuts. 8:15 is the safety meeting. 8:30 is the event. Like day planner, and then we'll be cranking and making noise by 9 o'clock.
Wow.
Cool.
Nice
Yep.
schedule.
So, Lewis, are you going to do the first cut, or are you going to have a bottle of? You going to swing a bottle across the shop to crack the side, or what are you going to do? Are you just going to dive in and have everybody start cutting?
I may do the first cut. That's a good idea.
You should.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Between you and if the missus is there, maybe you need to have one of those ceremonial cake cutting. Just both of y'all holding the saw and just kind of making a cut.
You need to cut a piece out of the side of the bus and then save it and frame it
Put it in
inside.
your refrigerator at
Put
home.
it in the refrigerator or
Right.
the freezer, right?
Good idea. We're gonna do that.
I think you and the missus should just grab a hold of it and start cutting.
Okay,
So,
It's a
we
good
will
idea.
do that just for you guys.
I didn't know you were an event planner, Brian.
hey, as a tool guy, I'm kind of a little bit of everything, So I
Jack of all trades.
got to be ready to plan anything at the moment.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good time.
The friendly teddy bear.
That's
Right.
it.
I'm looking forward to the fellowship. Meeting these guys live. You know what I mean? It's gonna be real cool.
It's gonna be awesome.
Well, you can always jump over to that hotel after you get off of here.
Nah, man, my wife, she got a clock on me. I gotta go home. GPS, GPS shows where I'm at.
Yeah. Why did you turn your phone off? That's what
Well,
I
leave your
get.
phone with Tyler and just go over, go across the street.
Yeah, they're only like 5 minutes down the street.
Yeah.
I was thinking about going down and like crashing the party down there, but I got to get up early and go reserve a table for breakfast for some of the people and whatnot. So,
wow, Tyler, you are a man of many talents. I tell you,
boy,
I like to be a good host.
You should, yeah, you're doing a good job. Very good.
Awesome.
I got to go to work, so I can't go. I ain't allowed to eat breakfast.
You should have called off.
I know, right? I wasn't thinking.
Hey, man.
I didn't think everybody's coming today. I thought everybody's coming tomorrow.
Well,
Call in sick.
You can get a sore throat tonight.
No.
You get a sore throat tonight. You can't use words like that, man. They'll rock you up and
they'll make you stay home then. Yeah, then don't come in.
Yeah.
Don't come in.
Oh, I got a cough. Don't feel it.
My dispatch probably watching this. I can't even watch the thing live.
What is it, Pat?
No.
That's when you know you've advertised too much.
Yeah, when people watching you that don't need to be watching.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I've been getting a lot of feedback on emails. People have been texting, donating stuff. I mean, I got a call today. I can't tell you because it might be, I can't say everything, but they're sending stuff to be here Saturday. I mean, stuff just coming.
Nice.
That's good.
I would have never thought this, but the community stepped in and jumped up. Appreciate it. Really do.
That's awesome. Totally awesome.
Yeah, just the fact of getting people together that haven't met, like, us here, I'm sure. I'm not sure. I shouldn't say that. Not everybody can work together. There's just, you could be friends with somebody, you could like somebody, but you may not, like, Chris and me. We do not work together well. People think, oh, you guys, yeah, you should see us in a garage together. I tell him to stand over there and don't touch anything. It's like we just work totally opposite. It's totally opposite.
Go over there and cut up some cake.
Yeah, so we're not a good combination to work together, So
you and Joe work together very well, though.
Joe and I do work together very well, right? Because we're of like mind. We think the same. We kind of think things out the same way, and we're methodical. Whereas Chris kind of is all over the place, and it works for him, so that's fine. I'm not knocking him for that. But, yeah. So you don't really know what you're going to get until you put it together and see what actually happens.
So that's true.
Hey, Rich said he would love to be here. He has to work Sunday. Listen, man, you're only 6 hours away. You can come hang out with us for a little bit and then bounce back home. I've made trips to New York City twice in a day or 24 hours. So it could be done.
Wow.
One trip was with a Lambo and the other trip was with a Ferrari.
Nice.
It's nice.
I wasn't driving them, I was towing them, but
right.
Still.
Same difference.
Which is worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you were still looking good doing it, though, Lewis.
I was looking good, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Enclosed trailer, nice truck. Yeah, so Rich, come on. Just come. You be back home Sunday or Saturday night.
Yeah, it's Brianna's graduation party this Saturday. And the only problem is that we got what we're supposed to get 1 to 79 inches of snow. So we don't know from what every weatherman talks about.
How do you swing a graduation party now?
Because she graduated what was it, like 3 weeks ago or whatever.
Oh, early graduation.
Yeah, she graduated early, and
okay.
And to be honest, I don't know how it came about, but we picked this time, and of course, with everything else in the world, it's kind of crazy because, if my brother-in-law's tested positive, he's he's had COVID for like, I don't know, 2 weeks, and every day he still tests positive. I don't know. And of course, everybody you talk to, it all depends. You could be done with the stuff and still test positive for months after.
Sure.
You could have it and test positive one day, and then you don't have it. It's all crazy stuff.
Yeah, I have a friend guy I work with has had it like 4 times already. He didn't even know he had it the last 3.
Yeah. And so that's, like I said, it was kind of screwy because I haven't made that drive there, but like I said, it ain't that far. Same thing.
Yeah.
But it's crazy with everything going on. I don't know. And hopefully they're wrong with the weather because I really don't need any more crap.
I started watching a new guy. His name is what is it? Paul Yall. He's living in Florida, and he blends all the different models, and then makes his determinations from that.
Oh, the weather map things,
yeah, and he seems to be really on the money with what he's doing. So
yeah,
and he's still saying like the 2 trends, the European model and our model, have them. He said the storm was wobbling back and forth, and he says they do that, and depending which way it wobbles depends if you get something or you miss it. It's looking like Eastern Long Island is going to get it. Up the coast, they really haven't been saying too much about Maryland, because I've been trying to watch and see what he said about that.
We're right on the line this year, or in particular this year, we've been right on the line between rain and snow. Usually we're more on the snow side.
He actually said from Virginia north is the main event,
right?
So
and everything's been further down, where like Ocean City and Southern Maryland, where they normally just get rain, has had just so much more snow than we have had.
Even Myrtle Beach, quarter inch of ice.
Yeah, it's just crazy down there having all that snow. So,
and then you guys send all your cold to me.
Right.
Oh, stop. We didn't want you to feel left out.
Well, instead of like June bugs or cinch bugs or whatever the hell you call those stupid bugs, we figure you get hit with a couple of iguanas when you're driving now instead of those damn bugs.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I didn't move to Florida to be in 30-degree weather.
Did you put on pants?
Should have moved to Cuba.
Should have moved to Cuba.
Nice. Remember to slap you when I see you.
If your pants are below
if you're coming on Saturday, you can slap me.
Yeah, come on up, John. You got the money. Hey, undig that money in the backyard.
I got stuff going on. Even in this cold, I got stuff going on.
I need you to look over this cage I just built and let me know what I did wrong.
Send me super good photos.
He didn't take no photos.
I was busy.
He just got done with it like a few minutes ago.
Even the welding inspector's working remote these days.
Right? It's true.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody's working for remote.
Yeah.
I got to figure out how I can drive the city bus while I'm on my bus. Remotely.
So Lewis, the roof
Elon Musk.
The roof is obviously infrastructure.
Yeah.
How much more work, or what's your plan of action to do next? Because there's a lot of work that's just the tip of the iceberg when after you do the roof.
Well,
you can do a walkthrough.
Yeah, I can do a walkthrough. Well, not now because I got stuff all over the floor. But what I'm going to do is the floor, I'm going to put put insulation in, subfloor, and then insulate the walls and ceiling. Then I'm going to panel the whole inside, and then I'll start building the cabinets and the bathroom and the kitchen.
Well, wait a minute, wouldn't you think of it like a house and run your wiring and any plumbing first before you put the walls up?
Yeah. I forgot to put that in there, but yeah.
And don't forget the washer hose for the pump for the rear window. Run that first inside so it won't freeze.
Yep. We need that.
So yeah. I mean, are you going to stud the walls out? Like, how far are you going?
No, I'm going to pocket jig 3/4 inch plywood. So I'll have no studs, it'll be all pocket holes.
Okay.
Yep. Make it lighter and it'll still be strong because, like the bathroom and the kitchen wall will all mount to the floor and the sides. You know what I mean? So that'll separate the bedroom. I have a hallway, so it all tie in together. It'll tighten up tight.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't want to give up
Sounds-
space. You know, you put in 2x4 studs. That takes up.
Oh yeah.
Sounds like a good project to put into Google SketchUp.
Yeah, I got a program that I can sketch it up, and it shows you like how to cut your plywood, all your pieces. So I'll put in the cabinets, the drawers, you know, all that stuff.
Now you got to run a power inverter. You got to mount that somewhere, and
Yeah, I'm gonna build a cabinet under the bus storage, and it'll hold the batteries and the converter and all that stuff. Fuse box.
Make sure you, because this was the problem I had with my old tool truck. They had the batteries and the inverter and everything was all together, and they did not have ventilation. And when the batteries they didn't have any ventilation, so the acid was trapped under and all that stuff. I can't tell you how many times I had to replace the wiring because they corroded.
I even saw that to an extent in my friend's motorhome,
Yeah.
which is a custom built coach, and I had to do some service work in there for him last summer. I said, man, this stuff got eaten up. And
on the newer trucks, they take the batteries and they put them up underneath. They have a slide rail and they put them underneath the truck, and then the inverter and stuff is above. But you still want to make sure that you have an air in and air out pocket so that you have some flow, because that stuff gets hot. I can't tell you how hot my inverter stuff gets. It actually melts the wire. I mean, the connectors get all funny on them. I've had to replace on the old truck a couple times. It's really amazing.
All right, keep that in mind.
The work on that motorhome was the first time I had to use the extension cable for a power probe.
Oh yeah.
I was like, when am I ever going to use this? Yeah, you want to check the lights on motorhome? Yeah, you need the extension cable for the power probe.
And even though you can do it, but if you go with batteries, you want to go with the 6-volt golf cart batteries, because your reserve time is a much longer than a 12-volt. Because a lot of people tell you to do
deep cycle, marine batteries.
Yeah, well, they tell you to do the it's like you can do the. I've done both. I did the because of cost, it was cheaper to do the 12-volt deep cycles.
Yeah.
But my reserve time was far less than. And if you ever look at an ambulance, they're all done with 6 volts because the time allowance is much longer. I went from 35 before. I was an hour and 20 minutes or almost an hour and a half down to 35 minutes.
That was the other project. I had to put batteries in his golf cart for him, and they were all 6-volt. I think there were 4 or 6 of them.
Yeah,
and they were expensive. They were expensive. Yeah.
Now you know what guys are doing too is they're buying wrecked electric cars like the Nissan. What was that one?
Leaf.
Nissan Leaf. Yeah, the second generation Nissan Leaf. So it's like 2012 to 2015, 16, something like that. Those battery packs, that's like 2,600 amp hours of power.
Yeah.
So these guys are putting them in the bus with like 3,000 to 5,000 watts worth of solar panels, and they can run their entire living arrangement off of power and never have an interruption.
You do have a good plane up there for solar. I just saw a video tonight. I forget who put it up, but they were talking about how cost of lithium batteries is going to go up a lot.
Oh yeah.
And they said it's because of the mining. It's the places they mine. And of course they say they bring in China, but then they say Australia has a huge supply. I'm like, well, we're friends with Australia. What do we got to go to China for?
Yeah.
So does Afghanistan.
That's one of the things in Afghanistan was the lithium that we gave up.
But But so stay with the people that are friendly with you. That aren't going to give you grief.
There's a guy out in Arizona. It's an RV place. I got to see if I can find his number. But they have solar panels that when you're parked that you put out to do. But I've been waiting for them to work on it so that I can keep them, mount them on the roof because they make them more flexible so that you can leave them on all the time so that eventually you don't have to set them up. You can have solar all the time.
Yeah,
You
they
need
have flexible ones that you stick onto the roof.
You need the array from Diamonds Are Forever, the one that just goes.
That's it. Yeah, I know.
That's the one you want. Yeah.
Because that's one. I mean, that's one of the biggest problems I have now in certain spots of my lovely route. Because like technically, even though that I'm exempt because I might have livestock in my truck, that's the way it's worded in the book, livestock. But
mechanics are animals. We know that.
I know. I technically cannot have my truck idle for more than 15 minutes, so I have to turn it off.
Hey, that's 10 minutes more than California.
Yeah, and I got a few Karens out there that come by and remind me all the time.
That's terrible.
I mean, nice people in the neighborhood.
So your lovely route, are the roads good or are there potholes on that route?
Those are some really crappy roads.
Oh, good. Okay.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, technology is really jumped up on the solar and batteries.
Yeah.
I got a company that's going to sponsor the batteries. Half of them, I got to pay for the other half, but they're going to take care of me.
Nice.
Yeah, if you're conservative, you can go a long way on less batteries.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to be conservative. You can't run your electric coffee pot, your microwave.
Yeah, you can. Yep, you get high efficiency versions.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't want to have a 3,000 watt storage capacity and use 6,000 watts.
Right.
No,
yeah.
Just be conservative.
Well, Lou's is going to be hyper-miling the bus anyway. So
the setup I'm going to copy, he runs his air conditioning solely off of the battery system, and it'll run. The solar panels will keep up with the air conditioner, the refrigerator, all the lights, and he listed all the systems it'll keep up with. And then
that's impressive.
That is impressive.
They can run the air conditioner through the night off the batteries and still have like 80% charge because he's running that Nissan Leaf. Battery.
Yeah. They've come a long way.
And then he said if they have like 3 or 4 days in a row of like overcast sky, which drops your solar efficiency to like 40%, he said they can still get by and still run the AC. It's not till like the 5th day of overcast skies that they have to fire up the generator.
Tyler, was it Eric who was talking about it the other night about he called it like the flat pack chassis that they're producing, and I saw it. I actually saw it on a YouTube video last night.
Yeah, that was Eric. He mentioned it's called the skateboard.
Yeah, and that's what it looks like. It looks like a like a chassis, and it's just filled with these silvery batteries. It's really a cool looking ordeal. Pretty neat, and it's just generic. You can just build off of that.
Yeah, we're going to do a lot of research on it.
Put my Fiat body on one of those.
Because I would like to go 30 days off grid if I can. That's my goal.
Okay.
And if you have enough solar power to meet your demands, the next big thing is fresh water then.
Right.
Which I'm doing 100-gallon tank, fresh water and 100-gallon waste.
Well, you can get like a desalinator, and you can actually process your own water, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my goal. Is I want to be fully self-sustaining, other than food, off grid. So I want to like build in a good filtration system, like a reverse osmosis filtration system, so that I can collect rainwater and stuff. Because I want to be able to treat my bus like a RV, like a cabin in the woods, if I want to.
Yeah.
Probably won't do that a whole hell of a lot, but I'd rather have the ability and not have it.
Yeah, better to build it in from the beginning.
Right, exactly. And that's the thing. I won't be able to afford the kick-ass solar system I want to put in at first, but I want to build with that in mind.
Right.
Yep.
That's it. Got to have a place to write your manifesto.
Yeah.
And then you get it all built, and they'll come out with something better and more efficient. It'll be,
Every day.
Yep.
Always.
I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for the Mr. Fusion.
yes.
Right.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Unfortunately, you can't win because it's always going to change. You just gotta pick, and hopefully you can improve by adding on.
Well,
yeah,
already,
so, the old adage was, as soon as you buy a computer, it's outdated, right?
Sure.
But that's now because technology has expanded to take over almost every marketplace. That has become true of almost everything.
Right. Well, and you guys were already talking the other night about guys who are selling off their bus projects because they're building a bigger and better one. So already that's regenerating itself, which to most of us is a new thing, but not to everybody.
Yeah. I watched a couple, they've been building for about 3 or 4 years, and they started out with 5 kids on the bus, and now they have 10 kids on the bus. So they had to build another one a little bit bigger.
Wow.
And they are traveling the country, and all the kids have their own jobs, like stuff to do. Some cook, some clean, some, do different things. And it's just incredible.
It's like a compound on wheels.
Sure is.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you a story. About 2 weeks. No, it's good though. It's really cool. About 2 weeks ago, I'm heading out of my development, and we have a really large park, and then there's like 2 fenced-in dog parks, and you got to be a member with the key in order to get in the dog park. So, as I'm going by, all of a sudden I see 6 schoolies all parked in the lot, and they're all painted up wild and everything, and I'm like, what the heck is this all about? So
they were probably going to Arizona to the Schoolie Palooza.
Well, a little further up is the main office, for like the community. So I rolled in there and I said, "What's with the hippie party up the block?" And the girl goes, the girl behind the counter goes, "I don't know." She goes, "They've been there about 20 minutes." I says, "Oh wow." I said, "Considering this is a relatively tight community, let me go see what's going on." So I rolled in over there.
So you're the Karen.
No. Because they were like the ultimately cool. I knew immediately when I pulled in the parking lot. I'm like, this is a cool group of people touring the country.
Was it the Grateful Dead music or the hacky sax?
No. It was just that they had kids. It was cool. It was really cool. The guy came by, and I'm like, "What's up, man?" And he's like, "We're looking for a dog park, and your dog park comes up on the Waze map." He goes, "We need a place to let the dogs run," and I'm like, "Oh man." I said, "Yeah." I said, that's a private thing." I said, "If I had a key, I'd let you in." So they've been out on the road. This group's been out on the road for 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And they school the kids, and everybody was so nice. They came by and we were talking like about 10, 15 minutes. It was cool.
Compound on wheels.
I told them where there was actually a public dog park that they could go to, and they were just so thankful, But it was a great group of people. I was like, dude, you're doing it. You're out there. You're not dealing with the regular day-to-day crap.
Yeah. Like, give you any cookies or brownies or anything?
No, they didn't have anything to give out.
Well, this week is the big convention out in Arizona. It's called Schoolie Palooza, and they're all there right now, having their.
I saw that listed somewhere. It must have been on social media someplace.
Yeah, they got 500 buses out there.
Wow.
Damn.
Every year they meet.
Where at in Arizona?
I think it moves around, doesn't it?
No, they got the one in Arizona is always there, but they have one in Florida too. Let me see.
Maybe the bunch in Florida got off the beaten path. They lost the main crowd, and they're like, "Hey, where's the party at?" Arizona, dude.
And they're all off grid. They're out in the desert.
Yeah, it's all boondocking.
This group, they were super, super nice people. I was like,
some of those damn buses, more money's tied up into them than most people's houses.
Yeah. Well, these folks had some money tied up in them, but none of them had like professional looking paint jobs or nothing. They look like they were painted with Walmart roller paint.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's
totally
about,
cool.
That's about 3/4 of the builds I've seen.
Yeah.
They're all DIYers, There's
Yeah.
some people.
I was impressed.
They're cool living with exposed insulation and whatever else inside their bus, But I'm gonna try and make mine like pretty nice. I'm gonna TIG weld all my cabinet supports and stuff out of stainless 304 stainless
There you
tube.
go. Sure.
So they'll be like skeletonized cabinets, So the four corners will all be stainless, and then I'm gonna have inset wood panels and stuff. So
Papa Squirrel, it's Coffeeville.
Coffeeville?
Yeah.
Huh.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, right. I bet.
Got the right name.
Is Crumb Cake Land next door? Because I'll be there, man.
Yeah. Coffeeville. That's
a nice
strange.
German crumb cake. Oh,
All right, so here you go.
Yeah.
Don't even talk like that.
Look at that.
Wow.
nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, they're out there.
Yeah.
So my wife is really hyped up. She wants to go. She said we got to go next year, even if we got to rent an RV as far as ain't done.
Damn.
So
Oh, I don't think yours will be done next year because by the time you finish one thing, you'll go, oh, I want to do this, and I want to do that.
Yep.
And one day you have to say, screw it, like we did with this thing. We said, that's it.
Hit the road.
Yeah, we did. We're not working on it right now.
Now,
that's what a lot of the people that like post their builds and stuff on YouTube or Instagram, they said that it was an enlightening experience to move into their bus before it was done, and a lot of them changed their plans on some stuff for that, because they like learned through living on board what they wanted and what they didn't want.
That's the best way to do it is experience, because I guarantee you, people can draw you up all types of plans, and you can have all types of plans, and then you find out this doesn't work,
right?
Or it's uncomfortable, or
That'd
I want
be
to do
great, but it
something
doesn't
else.
fit.
Yeah.
now, Papa Squirrel, you guys built a rider truck, right?
No, ours was started out originally as a welding delivery truck. The tanks, oxygen, acetylene, things like that, flatbed.
Yeah.
And 16-foot flatbed. And the guy we bought it from, because it was used, we needed 20 feet for the box.
Mm-hmm.
The guy said, we can take this flatbed off. We can add 4 foot to the truck and put you a box on there, extend it 4 feet, so you've got 20 feet of box in there. And that's what they did.
Okay.
And it was well used, let me tell you, because about a year after we started running it, we had to do a couple of years, an in-frame overhaul, which is about $7,000.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't even take the engine out. They do everything in the frame.
In the frame.
Yeah.
Yep. Drop
my
the
bus
pan, full of heads.
Yep. Whole thing.
Yeah, my bus.
That's when you find out the mechanic goes, yeah, this small diesel likes to have its springs and the little diesel likes to have its springs and rods changed at 300,000 miles.
Oh boy.
300,000. Okay.
Was that a Isuzu? Was it a Isuzu?
No, this is an International Harvester.
Oh.
One of the earlier ones, 2001, sorry.
Uh-huh.
Before they started going to all the BS.
Yeah.
Never had any real trouble with it other than, as the mechanic told me, the International decided that one piston ring was enough. Not piston ring. One seal was enough for the engine to keep the oil and water separate. Well, they changed it a couple of years later because they needed 3.
Yeah.
So that's what he did when he rebuilt it, was put 3 seals in there. and we put 140,000 miles on it and haven't had any problems.
Nice.
Good.
We don't drive as much as we used to because, for one thing, we've cut on a lot of shows. I'm getting too stove up. I mean, I'm only 72, and I've got rheumatoid arthritis and God knows what. My wife, who's younger than I am and much better looking, can outwalk me any day. I can't even keep up with her. Pisses me off. And I'm going to be getting one of them scooters at SEMA this coming year.
Oh,
Me
boy.
too.
There you
So
go.
if you hear a beep, beep, that's me. I'm coming through. So get out of my way.
Hey, a couple years ago, me and the fellows got them. It was like 20 of us. And we're rolling through.
God, a gang.
Yeah, we were ganged up, man. We were rolling through SEMA. Beep, beep, beep. But what's funny is you pull up to a car and people get out of the way so you take pictures. It's like a perfect getaway. You get away, shoot the picture, and pull off.
Well, see, they think you're handicapped. Well,
Yeah.
I am now.
Yeah.
I can justify this son of a bugger.
Listen,
but no, the truck.
We raced
Huh?
them down the strip. We were on the strip with them. We went all over the place.
Oh God, no.
I'll tell you, 20 of us.
The truck we got, we bought a box truck because every motorhome we looked at is too flimsy.
Mm-hmm.
They fall apart.
Yep.
Friends of ours had bought brand new motorhome, took it to from Sacramento to South Lake Tahoe, and one of the cabinets fell off.
Mm.
Really?
Just fell off because of the road bouncing.
Yep.
Another one. Yeah, they didn't even have merchandise in it. Another one's brakes failed coming down one of the mountain roads.
Oh, boy.
You gotta know how to operate your brakes coming down a road.
Yep.
And I did a lot of talking to truckers and that, and they explained the way about braking with air brakes and all that. One of them said, remember one thing, you can go down a hill too slow 1,000 times, but you can't go down a hill too fast but once.
Yeah. That's
So,
true.
you know, if they laugh at you because you're coming down a hill and you're running 20 miles an hour and you let it get up to 30 or 40 and then you put your brakes on, slow yourself down, that's what the passing lane's for. If they're in a hurry, let them go around you.
Yeah.
Sure.
We see trucks do that all the time. And every once in a while, you sit there and you get somewhere and you look and you laugh and point because that truck's sitting on the side of the road, smoke coming out of the brake drums,
Yep.
and you just wave at them as you go past in your slow ass
There you go.
thing.
Drop it a gear and just glide it down the. Let
Yeah.
the engine braking do what it's got to do.
But if you got an automatic, it's a little harder. But they do have engine braking on this automatic, which makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, it's like a mini Jake brake.
Yes, it is.
I
Yeah,
wish
my
mine
tool-
did it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
my
will.
tool truck's
I'm
got
looking
that.
at getting one of the motor coaches. It'll have a 3-stage Jake brake and a transmission retarder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
This
tool
thing
truck
ain't
does.
big enough for a Jake brake per se because the load limit on this truck is 28,000 pounds. And the number of idiots you're going to meet on the highway. Well, you drove a semi, Lewis. You know the number of idiots you're going to meet on the highway.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to
Oh,
pull
yeah.
right in front of you.
And Brian will tell you that we get our fair share in the tool truck too. We
Oh,
spend
my
a
God.
lot of time behind the wheel.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I don't understand people because you're in a Hyundai
Pull up
and
on
we're
it.
doing 55 and 60 miles an hour in the city.
Well, you got
And I've
more
left
wheels. That means you can stop sooner.
Yeah. Do you want to know how heavy? I don't think they understand that mass and momentum. I don't
Nope.
care if you got air brakes. You can slam them on all you want.
Yeah.
They need to have that in the driver's training. They need to have what happens with trucks.
You know,
Most people don't even remember going to driver's training, much less keeping up with anything.
you're right. I spent a fair amount of time in the tow trucks and the flatbeds at the shop, driving them and just being in them. And I came to the realization early on. I said, everybody should have to ride in a truck in traffic to see what a truck driver has to contend with. And then all the idiots that cut in front of them, like with a little Hyundai or a little Civic that think they're just squirting around. You don't realize how much of their life they're putting in their hands, when they do that.
You ought to hear my wife hollering at him. Do you know that I'm going to smash you like a bug if you don't get out of my way?
Yeah.
And she also yells laws of physics.
Newton's laws?
That's why you need a good set of train horns.
Yeah.
Oh,
I want to get a set to put on the side of my fuel tank because, where they come in from them.
Texas traffic clearer.
Go to hornblasters.com.
Okay, I'll have to do that.
Hornblasters.com.
Because there's nothing I hate worse.
Sounds like a sketchy
right
website.
Yeah.
Put it in Google first.
There's nothing I hate worse than you're driving along the freeway. Here's an entrance ramp, and the people come onto the freeway
And never look.
and then they pull in front of you, and you put your brakes on, they pull in front of you, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, and then they accelerate and leave you, and you're sitting there. If I had a gun, I'd shoot your damn car.
Yep. It happened to us on the way to PRI. Lady coming off the ramp, never even look.
Oh, no. They don't. And then I've had them flip me off because I've made them stay in the right-hand side and run up the... because they're an idiot.
I've done it too.
If you got a car that's got enough horsepower, anything, that can get up 0 to 60, you can sure beat me from the running alongside the freeway. But no. Let's see if the truck can move or stop and get mad because I won't pull over for them.
Yeah.
Well,
no, you don't have to.
I always get stuck behind the idiots getting on the highway that don't accelerate.
Oh, yeah.
And then they wind up getting all the way to the end of the merge and they stop.
Yeah.
Because there's cars and trucks coming in the right lane and they didn't time it out. And now I got to stop. And then it's a drag race once they finally get in.
Yep.
It's unbelievable.
Hey, fellas, I got to jump ship and go home.
All right.
What?
I
Lord.
I got to go to bed.
But I'm going to go to my house, not his.
Oh, good idea.
So you guys have a good after party?
Yeah, we'll try.
And I will look for us Saturday. We're going to be hitting it Saturday. We might do some stuff tomorrow too, huh?
Yeah, I think so. Because,
everybody's here. So
pretty much everybody's here. So, yeah, we might get started.
I'll have to watch your reruns because Saturday my wife is going to be spending all the savings that we put together over the last year or so at the gem and jewelry show, which is where we were today. And she only spent about $1,000. She was pretty conservative.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
yeah.
Boy.
Wow.
Listen, Debbie don't mess around. She got some.
No, she don't. But what's nice about it is she'll take that $1,000 and turn it into a lot more money.
Yeah.
And then I'll have to figure out how to do creative accounting to keep the IRS off my ass.
Well, don't talk about it anymore, Papa.
Yeah.
I ain't talking about nothing. Everything I do is legal.
So everybody does everything legal until they get caught.
Nope. Even if I get caught. I read that stupid book where you're in Montana and it's 20 below zero and you're in a 20-foot travel trailer because your old lady's kicked you out of the house and you freeze your ass off. I read every stupid thing in the small business manual the IRS puts out. Boring as hell, puts you to sleep, but then you look at it. And so I've made up the idea. If it's black and white, if I can take it, fine. If I can't, fine. But if it's gray, I'm going to look at how gray it is.
Yeah.
And if it's gray and in my favor, I'm going to do it. And the IRS grabs me and says, well, why did you do that? Look, this is what the law says. This is what you said. What's the real thing? Okay, I'll pay my fine. Did I do it deliberately? No. It was gray. I don't do it deliberately. And if it's black, I take it. I'm sorry, if it's white, I take it. If it's black, Well, I'm screwed.
Tyler said it sounds like a racist thing.
Yeah, right.
Oh, it is racist, all right. I hate those buggers.
All right, fellas, stay in touch with us this weekend. We're gonna be hitting it.
All right, Lewis.
Okay.
All right, Lewis.
Good luck.
You guys be
You guys
safe.
have-
See ya.
Thanks. Have a good night.
All right.
Be safe.
I'm gonna bail out of here too. 5 o'clock comes around a little early.
Oh boy.
You know, 5 o'clock comes at the same time it always has. I
Yeah.
just hate 5 o'clock more than I used to.
Mm,
And I hated it all through military basic training and all through my military career. And I still hate 5 o'clock in the morning.
Hey, it used to be worse for me. It used to be 4.
oh God.
Well, that's because they had enough trouble getting the TIs up at 4 o'clock in the morning. What are you talking about?
Oh well. All right. Take care,
See
guys.
you later,
So
Jim.
See
long,
ya.
Jim.
All right, Jim. Take it easy.
So John,
Yeah.
familiar face.
Oh yeah. King Crimson.
And it was actually the whole album. the
Who
whole,
did that artwork?
You know, that's a
That's
good
like
question.
an acid trip.
I just watched a video about Klaus Vormann tonight. He was the
Oh,
bass
yeah,
player,
yeah.
the German bass player, played with the Beatles and
Uh-huh.
everybody. And he designed the Abbey Road album cover and a bunch of other stuff. So I don't know who the hell did this. Let me see if they have a reference to it.
It's definitely drug inspired.
Cover by Gary Godber.
Yeah.
Never heard of him.
No, obviously he's like a European or something.
1969.
All of those covers during those days were drug induced.
Yeah.
What that for one song. But these are the other ones I was telling you about. The Tonight Show band with Doc Severinsen.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was a great band
And it was
through the
actually
years.
a volume 2.
Oh man.
So you want to hear Ed O'Shaughnessy hit the Skins.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
that's what I always, that's what I always was looking for. Like, he was a great drummer, and he'd do the stuff with Buddy Rich, and he'd, and of course, it was preordained that Rich was going to upstage anybody, but you knew Shaughnessy had chops, and now you can hear it on stuff like
And he was
this.
a double bass guy, which means he was cool.
He was a big guy.
Yeah, yeah,
He-
yeah. He was.
He was a big guy. He wasn't a small guy.
Big burly guy and played double bass.
Right.
That was awesome.
So, Brian, you got a little bit of a different camera angle tonight.
Just moving some stuff around.
Yeah, we're usually looking at you like we're looking like usually straight behind you. Now we're looking
Yeah.
off to the side there.
Yeah. that's true.
I had, like I said, I'm slowly getting stuff moved over and
What's in
done.
the drums over there?
Huh?
Are those drums in the back over there underneath the cases? To your left.
Who? Not me, right? Yeah.
No, John, Brian.
Drums.
The black and red cases, the blow molded cases. What are they sitting on? Look past the red cabinet.
You're talking about all the way in the back?
Uh huh.
Yeah, the cases. And what about? And you're saying drums?
And what are they sitting on? Drums?
Oh no. What do you mean drums? I don't
They look
understand.
like
Oh, I think with
30 gallon
No,
drums.
that looks like a table leg or a bench leg, and you're seeing
Oh.
the openings.
Oh no! Those are posts to put grinders on in the
okay.
shop.
Oh,
When they took them out of the dealership, we had them in the back unit room, and they took them out because nobody used them, and they threw them away. So of course I grabbed them, and
Yeah. Right.
I got one of my grinders on the other side of the garage with it, and I got one with a vise on it.
Okay.
And that's an extra one. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I just can't throw that stuff away.
No, I know. Yeah, I got one down here too. I brought it down the basement, and I have a. I actually picked up when
Did you pass me another Kleenex?
Ghost Motorcycle was going out of business in Port Washington. I was down there.
Yeah, I am.
Bought a lot of this stuff out, and he had a. I forget if it's a Blue Point or a Snap-on grinder. Dual shaft grinder,
Uh-huh.
and it's old. It's old.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I bought it, and the thing
Yeah.
works great. So I
Yeah.
stuck it on the post. I bolted it to the post and I brought it down into the basement. But when I turn it on, the freaking thing will walk across the floor. The whole post it's got like bolted down. So I don't use it much.
I watched on a YouTube thing where a guy had taken trailer receivers.
Yeah.
And I found one that had a pretty good sized plate, and I think I'm going to try that on my bench over there, so where I can take and mount it to the plate and then slide it in and then take it out. And he actually put it on hinges. I don't know if I'd go that crazy about flipping it up underneath the table.
Right.
But that's the only thing. I made the mistake on the one post. I have 2 garage doors, so I have that little 3 foot, or not 3 foot, but it's like
the piece,
a foot
the
and a half
in
in the middle,
Yeah.
And I mounted it there up against, so it's out of the way to say, but I don't know. Like I said, it's been there forever. I just I always liked it. I mean, I liked it there, because it was, if I was doing anything, I could always have the garage door open and have the air and the light, from outside.
Yeah.
Eventually,
that's usually where the light switch is or the fire extinguisher goes.
Yeah, well, and I had so I had that there, and of course, like I said, I kind of, at one time I was on the other side of the garage and I had moved everything over. I had actually taken one of the garage doors don't open anymore, and I put the old cabinets up against that part. I put I framed in where the door goes, and then I put all my cabinets, and that's where I'm on this side, and I only have one entrance in. I made it easier because before I was over on the other side, and it was just, everything was there. You have the stairs going into the house, and the extra refrigerator, the extra freezer. So everybody was coming down. Like I said, I'm just kind of out of the way. Everybody. So if I was doing anything on that side, it was kind of a pain.
Yeah.
So, and then the problem I had was I've got on that side also was where my 220 and the plug-in for my scissor jack.
The plug-in
scissor lift. I have I have a scissor, one of those. It gets up to, it actually will go up to 5 feet, but I don't have the clearance. I'm underneath my living room, so
you come up as you went, hey, get back down there. All right.
Well, I was joking around that I was just going to cut a section out, and then I can just raise the Mustang up, and I can, it'll be up in the living room, and then it'll be like the Bat Cave or whatever, the Green Hornet. Was it the Green Hornet that? Yeah, the Green Hornet, the car flipped around,
yeah.
So that didn't go over too well. Yeah, no, it flipped this way, right?
No, the Green Hornet. Yeah, Batman had a turnstile. It turned around.
Had a turntable in there. Yeah,
like for the semis.
So, and but hopefully, if I ever get my deck, we're getting the deck. I have a deck now, but going out the back door, I had a really nice bench and I had stuff out underneath the deck. But if I can extend the deck out, I'm going to put a yawning underneath of it so that the water won't go through, and then I can extend my shop to say, because like I said, a lot of times I got to do half the shit out in the backyard if I'm doing any welding or cutting. I do have a little bit of a fire issue here.
Yeah, I know.
You get that on fire, they ain't getting it out.
Oh, no. I know, dude. No. Tell me, I know that. I've never had a problem in here, let's say, but I saw it at a friend's house. It's pretty damn quick when that stuff lights up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep. Especially if it's old.
Yeah. And I said, man, I can't believe you tried to do that inside your garage. And he goes, all I had to do was just heat something up for a minute. And man, that was like instant. So
Totally uncool.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because there's over the years, I've kind of taught some younger guys, like, how to use a gas torch for doing stuff, whether it's in the garage or in the shop. And invariably, that there's going to come a time where they're going to stand there and they're just going to turn with it in their hand. You're like, whoa, what are you doing? There's freaking flame coming out of here, and you're turning around, and everything is flammable.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think of that. Like, yeah, we'll think of that first.
Yep.
And the bench up front, I have one of those, like a small oxygen acetylene tank set. Like it's hard as shit to find them now because of all this shortage. They don't the oxygen's the hard part to find because I need to find another tank. The orange, the green the blue and orange bottles, the small ones. Like your small. Acetylene ones, and I have that mounted in a bench, and I have a piece of a stainless steel top. If I have something small that I want to heat up and do, but I always got to catch myself because I do the same thing. I'll turn around or somebody will say something, and you're like, getting ready to burn.
I forget what the project was I was doing, but for a while I was doing a lot of things where I needed very concentrated small heat, and the oxyacetylene was just too big. And I went to Harbor Freight and I bought their jeweler's torch set.
Yeah,
it hooks up to an oxyacetylene bottle. There's little hoses, you use adapters, and you got this little tiny jeweler's torch with these little micro tips on it. And you get in some small places.
Yeah, I had, like I said, that was some of that. Like I said, some of that stuff, small stuff, is good. I got a bigger set, but like I said, if I do anything, I'm outside. I don't play around with it, and try not to play around too much with it inside. But I don't know. Hopefully I get back and get the stuff moved out into the new storage unit, and I can open up the stuff, and then hopefully you guys can take a trip down here, and John can finish welding my 9-inch up for me.
I would do that. That'd be cool.
My whole problem is every time I stand there,
I know Barb would like that because she wants to go back to DC and do the tourist stuff.
Oh yeah,
I haven't been to any of the buildings like the Smithsonian or anything since I was about maybe 8 or 11 years old.
Yeah, I got.
Now our wife was talking about the same thing, that seeing all that stuff, visiting. I'm like, okay,
it would be nice to go back there and see where all the monkeys live.
Right.
Yeah. I got. My problem is every time I start looking at it, I'm afraid to cut. I don't want.
What do you want to shorten it, Brian?
Huh?
You want to shorten it?
Well, I want to move it in about 2.5 inches. They sell I have the kit to move the frame rails in and everything, and I have about 2.5 or 2.25 inches on both sides. I hate when guys don't do that, and they can't run. They can't run anything wide enough, or when they do, it's on the outside of the wheel. It's not tucked in. I want to tuck it in. I want the rear wheels tucked in.
Yeah.
And I just don't like. I just can't, because then they raise the car up. They had to raise the car up to clear the.
Yeah, but that's the street machine look.
Yeah, well, that's not my street machine look. That's not
have those Pro Track L60s.
Right.
Yeah.
Shackles, extended shackles.
Yeah, I don't.
Hijackers.
So. Yeah. So.
Right. Anson slots, aluminum slots.
And actually, to be honest, I mean, I love my Pro
We should go
Stars.
back to that.
I got my Bob Glinton Pro Stars.
There you go.
But I guess they're 15s. By the time I get this thing done, I'll probably never be able to find a pair of 15s wide enough, big enough, because I have them mounted on. What is it? They're Mickey Thompsons. What are they? N50s?
Oh, you got N50s? Wow.
Yeah.
I don't even think they make N50s anymore.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
wouldn't it be some sort of number like 295 or something like that, or 375 or something?
It depends who makes the tire.
Huh?
It depends who makes the tire.
Yeah.
Really? I thought the letters went away back in like the 80s.
I'm trying.
Because every time I see advertisements for tires, like if I'm on a website looking at tires, it's always a number now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of metric number.
So it's kind of funny. I mean, like I said, I got these N50s.
Those N50 15s, man. Yeah. But you can still get a tire that big.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
well, right now you can't get anything. There's no performance tires available because the rubber, even though the tires may be made here, the rubber comes from our slanty friends.
Yeah. So I'm hoping
we just buy everything from them. We're so stupid.
Like I said, I like to move that in, and but then, like I said, I had to mess with that rear. That's why I was telling you about. I don't have to cut a lot, I don't think, or I don't have to move a lot.
Nope.
So I don't know.
Probably about 2 inches.
I just get
really the only way to do it is to do you got to do it the way we build these things. You got to do your framework. You got to put your wheel tubs in, and then you got to put the rims and tires you want to use in the car at ride height, and then you just measure from wheel to wheel.
Yeah.
And then you go to your rear end and say, okay, well, we're using a drum or we're using a disc, so we minus that amount. And then you say, okay, I need to take 2.5 inches off of each side, because you're not going to center the pinion. You're going to leave the pinion where it's at based on the transmission tunnel.
Because
so
I know
it's an even amount you're going to pull off of each side. So you whack it, you weld it back together again. And on something like that, you could get away with using 2 pieces of angle iron to square up what you cut off and what's left. There you go.
Yeah, that's it.
Those are the M50 15s I had on the back of my Camaro. I had them on the Pontiac, and I brought them down to the tire shop to have them dismounted because I couldn't dismount the damn things. They were like,
what? Whose tires are those?
Those are Mickey Thompson's.
Oh, they're Mickey's? Yeah.
Yeah, Mickey Thompson, Indy Profiles.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what I got.
So I trashed the tires and I kept the rims.
Cool. I had Pro Tracks.
Yeah, Pro Tracks were nice.
Yeah, they had that really cool eye.
Right.
Like
I called it an H. Yeah, it looked like an H.
Yeah, it's like a herringbone sort of a pattern, So and then I went to Goodyear Polyglass GTs.
Yeah.
They had that outline white letter.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I was hoping, because I didn't want to. Because then they were saying, well, if you do that, then you get different rims, and you got to move the center set, further. I want a little bit of the dish, I don't want.
That's why you do your frame. You figure out what you got to do. You do your frame. You do your mini tubs, and you put the wheels and tires you want to run, and you make the rear end fit that set. That's how we build all of these back half cars. We get the car, but we figure out what wheel and tire we're using. We made the car. Every single car we built at the chassis shop. We had substitute tires because a lot of the stuff we used was similar. In other words, for like big slicks or something. And standard in the drag racing industry is like a 4.5 or a 5-inch backspace.
Yeah.
So you could build like one Pro Mod, Pro Stock after another. They all use the same wheel.
Yeah.
So
I was going to look.
Just build it around your tire.
I just didn't know if I was like, I love the Pro Stars. I love that look. And I love like I said, I love those wheels. And then I started thinking, well, maybe if I had to get like a 16 go up to a 16 by 10 or whatever, 16 by. But I want to keep the Pro.
You're not going to get Pro Stars then.
Yeah, see, that's the only problem. I want my Pro Stars still.
That's it. That's why I'm not changing mine. I'm staying with those old Weld Super Lights, which they still make. You can go to Summit Jegs and you can buy Weld Super Lights. They got those 8 lightning holes in them. They're old school.
Yeah, I have 2 of them that have a Bob Glinton stamp on it or whatever, but I can't find the front ones for those. That's the only problem, because they were called Bob Glinton Pro Stars,
right?
And now everything I find is just Pro Star. It doesn't.
But I think the regular Pro Star looks just like the Glidden.
Yeah,
this one has the signature thing.
Yeah, this one has the block of aluminum inside that. You know, when you roll it clumps or whatever.
Exactly. Any weld wheel is going to be that way. That's what mine are.
Oh, really? Because I saw a pair of front ones I almost bought, but they didn't clunk. They were so.
Hold on a second.
They were.
Let me untangle everything here.
So I don't know if they were knockoffs. The guy didn't want that much, but I was afraid because the center section didn't move inside the wheel. You know.
Yeah, they'd probably given Glidden the contract at one point to endorse them, and then when that was over, they took his name off it.
Oh, I guess, that's back in the day when he was running. You know, that's when he was running. That's when he was running and beating everybody. And
right here, see this?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If you take these little caps out of here, these plastic caps, this whole thing moves all around inside there.
That's just like the stiffening ring, I guess, huh, John?
Yeah. Well, yeah. What happens is it's a 2-piece wheel welded together, but they put this aluminum spacer in it, so then when you put it over the studs, you have some thickness to it,
right,
and tighten down,
and it squishes it,
to reinforce it, right.
But that's it. This thing moves around.
Yeah.
So that's it.
It sounds like you used to drive down the road with appliance wheels with the baskets, and they'd rattle on you.
Yeah, those were awesome.
I don't know if you can see it.
I had a set of on the convertible on my Mustang. I had a 80. What was that? An 83 convertible, and it had the TRX wheels. Those were those metric, those funny 390 whatever. 17, not 17 and a half. What was it, like 15 and a half wheels or something? They were some weird ass. Only one person made them, were Michelin's.
Oh wow!
And but the center caps moved around like that, so when you drove slow enough over bumps, it sounded like a bunch of horses clopping down the street. You know, Clydesdale. It was like clop, clop, clop,
they were real pony wheels.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
I don't know if you can see this too good. All right, there you go. See the bottom where the rocker panel is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to cut away the existing rocker panel that was left, the inner rocker, and then seal it off, because that was a big mess, and it was open all the way through, and
when you cut like right where you were showing that picture on the Mustang, you cut that and you flip it, and you can get like that 2.5 inches or 2.25 inches inward.
Yeah.
And that gives you a tire clearance, because most people, they end up having to rate. You got your ride height all. I just don't like the height of it afterwards. I want it on the ground. So hopefully, I don't know.
Yeah. So last weekend I finished up the sheet metal closures in that lower tub area, and then once the axles show up, hopefully next week, I'll put the rear end in the car, get the thing off the rotisserie, and put the car on the ground. And then I got to see if I have to continue to open up the wheel well openings.
Right.
I made them kind of tight because I know I could always go back in, but I may have to open them up a little bit bigger. Not a big deal. I was taking some measurements off the black car, and they're about 2.5, almost 3 inches further open than these are. So these are a little on the tight side. But we'll see. If I like the way it looks tight, I'm going to leave it.
I don't know, John. Like I said, John, I might have to, when I get to that point, you might get a FaceTime call and set you up there in the corner. It was funny.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I sold a guy a welder, and he's like, "Man, this thing ain't working." And I was like, "Well, what are you doing?" He goes, "Well, I said, man, I wait till I come there." He goes, "Wait a minute," and flips me on FaceTime, and we're over there having a class, you know.
There you go.
But it was funny. He was it was just kind of funny when it was the modern of technology. It was like, no, dude,
Right?
you gotta do this, and of course he starts welding, and I said, now you hear that? Now you gotta tweak that speed a little bit, tweak it.
Right.
Okay, let's get this down. He's like,
Change
all right,
the-
this is
change
awesome,
the
man.
sound till it's get that crackle.
And he's like, man, this is awesome here.
That's like what happened at the shop. I told you a story when Derek was welding on a panel and he kept burning through it. And he says, I don't know what happened to welder shit. I'm like, well, how do you have it set? And he had no idea because they just set it and forget it.
Yeah.
And they usually just do the same thing. So I said, no, look, man, somebody must have used it and changed it. I said, but flip this lid open. I said, look, all you got to look for is your wire diameter, the gas you're using, the thickness of your metal. You put it on auto select. You set, what do you set? You set one thing. I think you set the thickness, and then it does the rest.
Right.
He goes, no. He was arguing. I said, just bear with me. You already fucked it up like 3 times. So what's one more? I said, now let me just reset this. I said, now hit it. And he gave it a tack, and he was like, woo, much better, but a little hot. I'm like, okay, hold on. I dialed it down a little bit more. Hit it again. He's like, that's perfect. That's perfect. I said, just read this freaking chart on the side of the welder. It'll tell you. It'll almost come out in good hand and do it for you.
Well, that was the funny part, because I said, all right, now look, this, ours was on the front. Ours, some of them are on the door. Some of the ones we have are on the side of the door when you open it up. But this one's up front, by the gauge,
Right.
And I said, this is where you want to start. And then you might have to tweak a little here and there, And I said, when you're looking through and you're looking at the puddle, you'll see the puddle, and you can see, telling him what to look for. And he's like, man, but that was funny when he called and was having problems. He's like, I'm starting out. I said, remember, that's where you start.
Right.
That's where you start. You still have to tweak a little bit. Don't just relax, cowboy. Just calm down.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that was pretty good.
Hey, speaking of tools, I was watching one of Clay's videos. He was on I think he was on a tool truck with a guy. And he said some of his guys now, new guys, are not buying ratchets and socket sets. And the trend is they just think they could buy ratchet wrenches and be golden.
Really?
Yeah. And, for a large percentage of what you're doing, I guess you can, until you have to get down into something and you need a socket with an extension. I don't know what they're going to do then. But
it's because of I had a guy tell me today. I said I walked around with a handful of ratchets the other day, and he goes, I don't need any ratchets. And I was like, how can you not need any ratchets? And he goes, because they make these wrenches now so goddamn long.
There you go.
They think they can do everything with the ratchet.
So I guess it is a trend that it's all over the place now. Okay.
Yeah.
Until you got to do like a spark plug, you got to get something down into a, you need a socket and extension. I mean, you're going to have it.
And really, when you really think about it, half these guys don't even know what a spark plug is anymore, because they all last, 150,000 miles.
Never change them, yeah.
And like I said, unless they have unless they really have a misfire code, and even by that time, they tell the guy to go back to the dealer.
Oh, I thought I was going to have to buy those really deep, those bumper sockets that we talked about a while ago.
Oh yeah.
I thought I was going to have to be calling you, because on the FJ, I want to change the rear my backup lights. I wanted to put LED backup lights in. So I pull up in front of the house. I use my side mirror to guide me to the curb. And in the day, it's okay. But at night, I notice like I can't see shit. The backup lights aren't lighting up anything. So I figured I'll put some LED bulbs in there. So I got them. And I did the driver's side first. And there's a little curved panel in the back. You pop it out, and now you have access to the bulbs. So the problem is you can get your fingers in there, but they must have used the smallest of the Chinese guys in the world. It must have been like the Chinese baby that they put in there, because there's like metal inside, and I was able to get the socket out, replace the bulb, and I couldn't really get the right angle. I got it. I got the socket back in, but it was a chore.
Pair of big long reach needle nose and grab it. And
yeah, I didn't want to break the side. It's a plastic socket, so I wanted to be careful. So the other side, I would take the subwoofer out, get in there, and the same thing. Then I saw this rag stuffed in there, and I'm like, what the hell is there a rag doing in here? I pulled it out. It had burn marks on it. So the previous owner had changed a tail light and couldn't get the socket turned. So he shoved a rag in there to hold it in place.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
I mean, luckily the socket's grounded, so he didn't have to have it ground.
Yeah. Luckily, it didn't tilt a little bit and melt the housing on the backside. Or
like I was saying, this piece of rag had burn marks on it. Wow. So I said, okay, now I'm on the other side of the truck, and now I didn't have the mechanical advantage with my right hand. I use my left hand, which has arthritis in it. And I was like, oh shit, this ain't working. I can't get in here. Like, how the hell do they do this? Like, where the hell's this? There's got to be a midget on the block somewhere that can help me. There's nobody. So what I did is, you know what? Let me pull the whole taillight assembly out of the body, out of the quarter
panel. There you go.
And they're on those 3 long studs with 10mm nuts. And I said, holy shit. I said, my deep socket, my Silver Eagle deep socket better be long enough. I said, or I'm going to be calling Brian. I'm going to have to buy those long sockets. And it was. It was able to get the nuts off. And then I just pulled it out of the body and worked on it outside. And then I was able to get it on, nice and tight, put it back together. I said, what the hell? What an ordeal. I have to just change a couple bulbs.
Yeah.
These things are supposed to be easy.
Those sockets, well, actually there's a 5-piece set.
And a 3-piece set.
No. There's a 3.
I thought it was a 3 and a 5.
Well, they've got it's now from like 7 to 15 now or something.
The 3-piece, what would it be like? Was it 8, 9, and 10 or 7, 9?
No, it had a weird number. It had one weird one in it.
Yeah, because
7
or 8 or 9,
7,
maybe.
It
could be
like,
9.
It was like,
I don't think there's a 12, right?
I gotta look, because the 3-piece ones are on clearance discontinued. They're pretty cheap. If you want, if you want like a 10 and an 8, and there's one odd one in there, like a 9 or something. I don't know what it is. That was a 3-piece, and it was a pretty good savings, right? I mean, discounted.
You know where to put a set of those.
Yeah, but that was just those 3, and then there was they were replaced with from 7 to 14 or something like that.
Wow, 14. Jeez.
Yeah, 1/4-inch drive, extra long.
What the hell is that? What are they using 14 on?
I don't know.
I said, BMW, I sent you that picture over the summer. BMW needed an even longer one. They needed like a freaking 8-inch.
Don't they have some 14 millimeter spark plugs?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
14, and then actually this one is a 12 point. I don't think you can see.
I see now Vim came out with a spark plug socket set. It's all the swivels and does all the the Tritons and shit, or the real.
Yeah, that's the one that we have on ours. It's that
right.
It's but actually I just got right here. I just got a new on the German junk. They no longer have the electro on top. See how
it's on a plug. Yeah.
The top, where the spark plug wire used to clip in.
Right.
That's gone now, and they now have it's a concave. So when you put the coil in, it has a spring loaded that rides inside there.
Right.
Of course, they got to have a different spark plug socket now.
Of course. Speaking of that, I just got an email that Pertronics, they either, I don't know if they bought them or merged with them, but Taylor Wire is now being sold through Pertronics. So Taylor cables, they make some really good ignition cables.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't, like I said, I don't remember if they said they bought them or merged with them. I don't know.
Huh.
Or just partnered with them. I don't know.
Probably bought them.
Taylor makes some good wires.
Yeah. So, but that's the, like I said, and these are, if I'm not mistaken, if I read this right, these will be on also on the newer Fords, GM,
Those
and
plugs.
Yeah, the plugs without that tops on them anymore.
So, explain to me this, riddle me this. Back in the day when we had, say, HEI ignition, the trend was to go to bigger and bigger ignition wires, 8.8s, 9s, stuff like that. Now, ignitions are more powerful and the wires are getting smaller.
Yeah.
7mm wires, 6mm. And, I realized that when I was working, I was rebuilding a set of speakers. And again, with speakers, how speakers are car speakers, the trend was always go with a bigger wire to have less resistance, right? More power to the speaker. But inside the speaker, the internal wiring is like 20 gauge wiring. So I was like, wait a minute. Like, are we being fooled or duped? But now in ignitions, the same thing. I'm seeing the reverse trend happening where they're more and more powerful and the wires are getting smaller unless the wire technology is getting better.
Well, I think it's the wire technology. And remember back in the day, what was that speaker company? It was a speaker wire, Street Wire.
Monster Cable.
I think it was Street Wire was the company. And they had more strands of copper per inch than like a regular. So the wire was smaller, but it had more strands.
Well, it's like what I did now, like with my battery cables. I paid a lot of money to buy it's more strands of wire because I found out the way you actually measure the way you calculate resistance in those wires is, and you can measure it, is they actually take a cross section of the wire, and then now you have like an elliptic, you have like an oval. It was like cutting bologna. You know how bologna, like take a bologna slice, but they take that surface area, and it becomes calculus at that point. It's like area under the curve, and that gets multiplied by how many strands, and it goes up exponentially when you use a lot more wire.
It's kind of like radiator technology from when they went from oval to round tube, round to
oval,
to oval because of the area of surface.
That's
right. I get it's very similar to that or whatever.
Yeah,
area of surface of area or
surface area. You got it.
Yeah,
but because I remember
the battery cable I bought to do the Camaro, and I bought 100-foot rolls, red and black, and it's like
that could break you.
1/aught welding wire,
right?
And if you take a piece that's like a foot long and hold it, it just droops.
Right. That's the good
stuff.
Very,
very flexible.
Yes.
And when you go to put it together into the copper lugs, it's a bazillion fine pieces of copper wire in there.
Right.
Yeah. It's nice, really nice stuff.
John,
keys to the kingdom.
I want to send you these keys and an address.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
It's in Jacksonville, outside of Jacksonville.
That's far away, but I'll take the ride. My wife wants to go to Jacksonville.
This is to my black 89 GT Mustang. The guy won't sell me the car back.
So go pick it up.
So here's the keys. I'll send you the address.
It's a repo.
Yeah.
You got to send Lewis Lee down for that.
Yeah.
That's his gig.
That's it. I still have the keys. I still have the keys to the 1970.
I got the keys to my 71 Camaro still.
Because over time, I got away from using the ignition key in the steering column,
Here. Uh-huh.
and I went over to just a start button with an ignition switch.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I permanently unlocked the steering column, so there was no key in it, and it was still, you could still turn the steering wheel. But
Yeah.
I found them a couple of days ago. I'm like, wow, I can't believe I still have these keys. So I'm wondering if I can get the door locks
Yeah.
and the ignition in the column on this one rekeyed to match the original keys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
That would be really cool, right?
Yeah.
Well, it'd
To
be
have the
really
original
easy if you still had
1970
the tags.
Yeah.
If you still had the tags,
Or the
you do
key
it.
punch out. Yeah.
No,
But
as a
all you
matter of
gotta
fact,
do is
the
take it
keys,
to any.
the keys that I were given are not even the original GM keys. They're actually aluminum keys.
Yeah, these are aluminum.
Yeah.
These are
Oh,
what they call
one is silver, one is blue.
So while we're talking about keys, no one has ever explained this to me. Why, GM has a single side cut key. Ford used a double cut key. And why the hell's Chrysler keys go in upside down? Although Mark Warman says his go in the right way and GM's go in upside down. What the hell is with,
Well, you know what? Mark's right, because think about your door key.
My door
Your
key
front
goes in.
door,
My door
teeth
key goes
down.
in like the ignition key.
I don't know, my
With
door
the
key goes
teeth
in
down.
teeth up.
Really?
Yeah.
Someone put the lock in backwards.
I don't know.
Mine all go with the teeth down.
Really?
now this one here is the key to the 66.
That's an old looking key. Yeah.
That's the key to the 66, and that's the key code for it.
Nice. It's good that you have that.
Yeah, I can't believe the guy still had that's the original the original thing. Now, the funny part about that was the doors, like you said, were up, but the trunk was down. And that was funny. One night I had gotten stopped when we were out sipping on Granddad's cough syrup too much. And the cop had asked where the liquor was, the alcohol. And I said it was in the trunk. And he went over there and he was trying to open the trunk and couldn't get it open, And of course I stumbled over there and said, obviously you're having a problem, officer. Here, let me help you. And I opened it and he was like, how did you do that? And I was like, obviously somebody needs a few drinks to understand how to work this.
Just drunk luck.
Yeah, no. But those were the good old days. Those were the days when they said, I want you to go home, and if I see you again.
Yeah, you see, if I was asked that question, I would have grabbed a straight slot screwdriver out of my the rear armrest and just went in and put it in because I didn't have a trunk lock. I just used the screwdriver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then one time I was driving a Datsun 610. And
oh my gosh.
Yeah. I had a 510 also. And I came, that's the car that made me buy Snap-on line wrenches, by the way. But anyway, I don't remember how it happened, but somehow either me or my brother in a drunken Sunday morning haze snapped the ignition key off in the ignition. And I was like,
Ray. There's some 510s.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Very cool. Those are cool. Yeah. Nice. So at the time, Datsun was still called Datsun, and I go down to the dealership and tried to get a lock, a new, and it was like, I don't know, a couple $100. Like, no way. Fuck yeah, I'm spending that kind of money. So I realized that, took the plastic cuffs off the column, and you could pull the back of the lock cylinder had the plug that went onto it with one screw. You pull that off, and it was a plastic plug with a slot. Put a screwdriver in it. You start the car.
There you
So
go.
I just hung that down under the dash. I had a straight stubby screwdriver I shoved in the console, and that's how I started the car. And then I would just shove it up under the dash, and now it was a great theft deterrent because the key didn't work,
Yeah.
And until one day I had to go in. Linda was working in the city, and I went in to meet her. We were going to go to dinner and then a play or something, and I go into a parking garage. So I wheel into the parking garage, and I get out, and I said, "Listen, can I park the car?" No, it's a regulation. We got to park the car. I was like, "Listen, I got to tell you something. This is what you got to do." I said, "When you shut off, you got to take the screwdriver in the console and you shut the." And the guy's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude. Listen, don't worry. It's no big deal." No. He wanted to call the cops. I was like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Well, it's like a stolen car." I'm like, "You want to see the registration?" It's like, "It's my car." I said, "But the ignition is broke." He would not park the car. He says, I can't do it. I can't take this car in here."
Yeah.
I was like, "You freaking idiot." So I had to go find another lot that would park the car. He wouldn't do it.
It's funny.
And then I thought of it later. I said, "Yeah, I guess that was pretty sketchy. Like, yeah, just use this screwdriver. It's all right."
Yeah.
I thought nothing of it because it was just like, hey, it had a problem. I fixed it.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, I had one the same way. The key had broken off in the lock. It was my Rabbit, my Volkswagen, and the key had broken off inside, and all you had to do was just grab the outside of the chrome bezel and turn it.
I gotta say, I could only in my wildest imagination see a rabbit inside of you, not you inside of a rabbit. Just saying.
Hey, we had a 79 Rabbit diesel.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And we're not little people.
Right.
All four of us would pile in that thing. And I tell you,
the poor suspension.
Oh, I tell you, man, all four of us would be in that thing, and it was, all 43 raw horsepower of that poor diesel carrying us all along, man.
It was like 1.1 horsepower per person.
Yeah, basically. It was
10.1,
insane.
I'm sorry.
That was
you guys are torturous. Jeez.
Yeah. That was a great car. I wish I kept that car.
Oh, we were talking last week about the I did this for the show and never used it. I made a demonstration with the
yeah.
And then just thread in a
nut set, yeah.
A riv nut cert, whatever you want to call it, yeah.
Yeah. Where I got your
Did you ever buy that tool that I have that I told you about?
No, but I have it saved still. I have it saved. That was the you got the squeezy one like that.
Yeah, man. That is awesome.
I still have a handheld.
I use that thing all the time.
These keys to my gun safe?
There you go.
I don't know, the keys to something. You have to check
I find
that out.
keys to everything, and one key that I need, I can't find, is the key to the safe deposit box.
Oh, really?
No.
And my bank, it's SunTrust.
Yeah.
SunTrust, yeah.
And they're changing over.
And they merged with BB&T.
Yeah, they're Trust now or whatever.
Into Truist, yeah.
True, yeah.
So my branch, luckily I got a BB&T up the block, and then the SunTrust that I use they're like 600 feet apart. So they're closing my SunTrust branch.
Yeah.
And they're like, you got to come empty your safe deposit box. I'm like, I don't even know what's in that thing, if there's even anything in it. So we went looking all through the house, could not find the key.
Wow.
So they got to drill it. And you got to be there when they drill it.
Yeah. Are they going to charge you to drill it?
No, because there's a whole, because the building's closing down.
Okay.
And they've given everybody like 5 months to get in there and do what they got to do.
You're probably not the only one.
Yeah. So they're gonna be drilling all of them that have not been emptied. And then there's some certified dude there that will take the contents, put it in a sealed package, label
7
it,
years.
and then they said you'll get it back in like 3 to 5 months.
I wonder.
But because I'll be there, if there's anything in it, I get to take it
I
immediately.
wonder how much cash and guns and jewelry they're gonna find. You know,
Unbelievable, right?
that's gonna be wild.
My
And I
aunt
got to be
worked-
honest with you, neither me or Barb, we don't know if there's even anything in it.
So it's
I've
like
had it since I moved here.
it's like
And it could be a cash stash. It could be the
Cool.
deed to the house. I don't know.
so it's like Geraldo Rivera's
Jimmy Hoffa, or no. What was
No.
it?
Was it was Al Capone.
Al Capone.
Al
Yeah,
Capone's safe, right?
yeah.
Hey, you
I
never
don't
know.
I don't know what's in it. There may be something. It may not be.
Maybe you'll find the keys to the Firebird. Drum keys. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, my aunt worked for a bank. And it was the same thing. They'd go through, and after a period of time, if there was deceased and there was no surviving members or whatever, and then they had to go in and like you say, drill it, and it had to be like sealed for X amount of time to find, and then then they went to state auction or whatever.
Yeah.
Tell you one thing, man, they find some stuff, or there's some stuff on there. Maryland
I
has
wouldn't
it,
doubt it.
and I go on there looking for coins and dollars, type thing, and it's great when you can catch it. But like I said, everybody, you got to fight everybody else for it. So sometimes it's not that they make out because it's not that great of a deal.
My sister-in-law works. She still works at a bank. So years ago, she always got us a deal, like a family rate on a safe deposit box. I said, okay. So I had all the house papers in there. I kept all the car titles in there. Nothing, no cash and guns or jewelry. Didn't have. And but I'd go to the bank, and I always loved the key. It was that flat key with the teeth on it. It was real cool looking.
Yeah.
And Pop Squirrel wants to get back in. He's locked outside.
He's locked.
What happened? You got locked out. The screen door slammed on you. No audio.
No. Mute.
We hear you not.
You gotta love my daughters. They come down and said, "Dad, do you have $10?" And I was like, "Why?" And they said, "Well, I got some change. Can I, trade it in for money?" And I'm like, "Okay, whatever." And of course, they come down with a Ziploc baggie of.
Nice.
And I said, "Are you sure there's really $10 on there?" Yeah, Dad, there's $10.
I'm gonna count it. Well, like I was saying, I'd go to the safe deposit box, and I'd be like either putting just paper in, or how to get a piece of paper out, and you go in, the girl would always go in with you, and then she would always like turn her back, or leave the room. I'm like, listen, you don't have to turn around. Well, like, you don't have to leave the room. Oh no, it's bank policy. I'm like, listen, I said, I'm not getting undressed to do this. I'm like, it's no big deal. It's like, and like there's nothing in here that I wouldn't show you anyway. So it's like, it's okay. You don't have to turn around. It was just like a weird moment,
Yeah.
Like, jeez. Yeah.
Damn it. Trying to get ready with all my receipts. I'm trying to get a jump, dude. I tell you, man, I hate.
I keep getting stuff in the mail because it's all got to get here by the 31st.
Yeah.
Today, the stuff from the most hated bank in the nation, Bank of America, showed up.
I had to hold my mortgage.
Yeah, I'm getting away from them because they're just toxic assholes.
Me too. I'm paying it off next week.
Next week. Wow.
Well, we're selling my mother-in-law's house. We got a closing date for Tuesday. So as soon as I do that, got to pay down. I had an equity loan I was using for college stuff for the kids. And then, and we only got a couple of years left on them. We're down at the principal. We're at the end.
Yeah.
I'm going to pay them both off. I'm skating into retirement debt free.
Good.
Awesome.
So, yeah. Of
Yeah,
course,
that's
I'll be
awesome.
spending the money that would have been my inheritance, but you know what? I'd rather just clear it out and be debt free.
Yeah.
There'll be some left over. But how's your situation, Brian? How's mom doing?
Oh, mom's doing good, thanks. It was really, really crazy. Last week she was having difficulties, and she was going to her doctor's. She needed to go to her doctor's. She had a doctor's appointment or something. And of course, Jenny, my wife, went to go pick her up, and Jenny said, "We ain't going. We're going right to the ER. We're going right to the hospital." Took her in, and
Really?
it was really screwy. Of course, with the COVID, you can't go in. You just got to drop her off at the door, lottie, and all that stuff. And so they dropped her off. She spent like 12 hours in the ER before she can get a room.
God.
Of course, she didn't eat all day, and they finally get her something. And, and it was kind of like stuck her in this room that was like a storage room. It was all it was kind of crappy, and they just basically patched her to the point where her heart, she was having heart she's got what is it called,
arrhythmia.
Yeah, so they get her in there and they get her heart rate down where it is, and they said, go see your doctor, cut her loose,
After 12 hours.
Yeah, well, she spent like 2 days in the hospital, and then they cut her out. So I was going to take her to Tuesday, I think it was, to her doctor. And we get there, we get in the doctor. The woman couldn't even breathe. She was having so much difficulty. I had to wheel her in with a wheelchair. We get in there, we go through everything, and the doctor was like, look, you really need to go back over to the ER. We need to get this under her. So I took her over. They, of course, again, dropped her off, admitted her. She sat for another 12 and a half hours in the ER till she got her room. They get her a room. She said she had a really nice room. It was a little bit different experience, so I get this phone call. I guess, what was that night? That was Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Wednesday night, when you called me, I was taking mom. She gets this phone call. I get this phone call. They're going to let me go. They're going to let me go home. We're going to do this with medication. And I'm like, look, I don't like this. Your doctor said you should be in the hospital. And, she's like, well, they got me on this medication, blah, blah, blah. I feel really good. I'm not lying, Ray. I went to go pick mom up. She comes skipping out of the hospital like a 16-year-old girl on a lollipop high.
So did you ask her if you could get some of that stuff?
I was like, Mom, you slow down. You all right? She gets in the car, just miling.
Let's go to Taco Bell, Brian. Come on.
I'm like, what?
Wow. Good.
So we get her home, and like I said, she looks good, she sounds good, she doesn't have the problem. So whatever they got her on, I hope it takes care of the problem. Or
that's good. How old is she?
80.
Okay, because on Tuesday night, late after they got off with Tyler, Joey did like an after show from his shop. I couldn't get on it because I had to pick my daughter up. So I tuned in. I looked at YouTube a little bit, and Terry came in late. I don't want to be telling his stories out of school, but his mom, he thinks she had a stroke. So you had to take her to the hospital the same night. I was like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
But what I wanted to say, I told those guys this story. I had to go to a wake on Monday night.
Yeah, I watched it I watched when I got back home and everything. I went to see if I could log on, and you guys had just come off or whatever. So I watched it on YouTube. So that guy was a really good. I thought it was kind of funny for a minute when Joey started talking, and I saw his eyes light up. I was like, this guy is going to be in a shock here when he was talking about the going for a ride in the bus with the blankets.
Oh yeah, right.
I was like, man.
John, what had happened was we got a call over the weekend. One of the guys in Whitestone Hot Rod Association, had he passed away in his sleep.
Good.
So they had a wake. Monday we went and found out that what had happened is he was doing some plumbing work. He's only 68, and then came out and had like his shoulder was hurting, but he had like a lump on his neck. And his wife questioned him about it. He says, "No, it's just my shoulder hurts, my neck hurts, whatever. I'll be all right." And he went the rest of the day, went to sleep. It was an aneurysm, and
Ooh.
it took him out in his sleep. So the takeaway is like at this age, you got to be aware of that stuff. And if it looks different and you don't know what it is, go get it checked out because they could have saved him.
Sure.
They could have saved him, and it's a shame. So that's how we started. So yeah, that was it's terrible.
That sucks.
You hate seeing that, yeah. So, I don't know.
Yeah. I watched. That was pretty interesting. It was a good show. I mean, a good format and everything.
Yeah.
So,
no, like I said, those guys, they definitely have an A team as far as building goes. They got all the right fabricators. It's just a matter of, you don't know once you put people in a room together, they can get along, but how they're going to work together. And that's what you don't know. You're going to find out,
Yeah.
But it's good because, Lewis is going to be like an MC. Tyler is taking a managerial role, which you need. Dotting I's, crossing T's. He got everybody that are electrical tape, their own color tape for their stuff. And, it's.
They definitely had some good planning. I mean, you gotta, that's a lot of work right there. Just getting the planning down on that.
Well, it's like he's talking about. Tyler wants to take his bus on the road and do, work on guys' cars or do teaching events. And I mean, teaching events are one thing, but if you're going to go, let's say, come down to, rolling down to Maryland, we're going to work on Brian's Mustang. Once you get something like Garage Squad and the crew works together all the time, who does electrical, who does chassis, everybody's got their place and who can swing. It's like working in a shop. You get to know who you can ask for help and who you can't.
Yeah.
But that takes time to develop that. It takes, doesn't happen overnight. So.
No, I'd still like to be the fly on the wall this weekend.
Well, they got so many cameras, it's not going to be hard to be a fly on that wall. They're not going to be able to hide from the wall. You kidding me?
That's funny.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's one.
See, I don't know. Not that I'm not a team player, because I can be a team player, but I like to work either alone or with just a smaller group. That's how I, I prefer that.
Yep. That's the way I am too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, especially if you're set in your ways. I mean,
who isn't?
That's the biggest problem that I see is you're kind of everybody, like you said, everybody's set in their own ways. And if you're a complete control freak, you're going to have, there's going to be problems.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like that, but I know there was one time I had some guys over the house. I was doing a timing belt on my Fiat. It's dual overhead cam. You got to be a little careful with it. And one of the guys, my buddy Honda John, him I trust. I know he's been around those motors, and I can turn my back and not be afraid he's going to blow something up. But my other buddy was there, Neil, and like he wanted to help. He was like the puppy dog, like, oh, let me help. I was like, no. You stand over there and don't touch a freaking thing. I said, you can talk to us, but you can't touch anything, and you can't put your hands on this. Well, why? I'm like, because you know what you know, and I know what you know. You don't know this. We'll figure it out. It's like, this is my car. This isn't a customer's car.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's that used to drive me crazy. Sometimes because, like you said, you get a couple different people, and you might, I mean, in a certain repair, you might do it one way, and I'll do it one way, but you will, get to the same result, you know. So, and some people don't like that, or some people
just like in the world famous deconstruction video, John, of pulling the Firebird apart, where you had Evan over and your other friends, you could see that you guys work together well.
Oh yeah, we're a good team, and we just pulled that together.
No, you could see everybody knew everybody's strengths and weaknesses. You could turn around without having to worry about, is somebody going to drop something or break something.
That was a good gang of every single person there is a racer, and a car guy.
Right.
So like, you know, I knew what was going on. Evan knows what was going on. Everybody that was there knows what was going on. Steve Buscarino, he's a racer. He's a good friend of mine. He knows what's up, and you know, it was just great.
Right.
We had a good time. So I'll grab those guys back again to do something else.
I remember when I watched that video, it was obvious right from the start. It was almost like it had been scripted, but I knew it wasn't. And that's how I knew, like, these guys can do that. They can work together. It's obvious. You see,
so
you can see it, and you can see
that
when
day.
it doesn't work.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, it was hot that day.
It's not like watching American Chopper with the Tuttles throwing stuff. You know, you idiot, you moron! Screw you! Oh God, I hated watching that.
You know, that show from Canada is back on again.
Which
Rust Valley Restorers.
Oh yeah. Right. Rust Valley Restorations. Yeah.
I just can't get over that show.
I saw an episode
There's
about
so much that's so wrong.
I know. I saw an episode about a week ago where he was saying it was like now COVID hit, the shop closed, he sent everybody home, and he was working alone, and he was pulling cars in out of the yard working alone. And then his partner had went and started his own shop.
Yeah.
The heavy guy.
Avery.
Right.
Avery.
He started his own shop, so he came to help him with something.
That guy Avery, all he does is laugh.
Yeah, he was working on some boat. He had some kind of like a
and it sunk.
Did it sink? Oh shit!
He bought a paddle wheel boat.
Right.
And he was going to restore it.
Right.
And then it sank in the wintertime. It sank.
Oh no! Because I saw when they get on it, they were bilge pumping it, but it was still upright. Wow.
Yeah. Well, it's at the bottom of that lake.
Wow. Oh well.
And they went down.
Well, at least they know where it's at.
They waited till springtime. That's the weird thing about that show. One scene, there's snow everywhere.
Yeah.
And they're wearing coats. And then the next scene, all of a sudden, they're wearing cut-off T-shirts.
Right.
You know? They hired some company that put these suits on them with the helmets and weighted them. And they actually walk to the bottom of the lake from the shoreline.
Really?
Yeah, with hoses coming out of the back.
Yeah.
And what's his name? The guy that's the head of the show, the guy that looks like D. Snyder.
Yeah, Rastaman.
Yeah. He had some serious problems while he was underwater.
Yeah.
And they had to rush him to the hospital.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it was pretty crazy. Yeah, so that thing sunk to the bottom, and that's where it's going to stay.
Yeah. All right. Hey, it's easy to collect the insurance money than it is to restore it after that.
Yeah.
I had a shop owner. He was on vacation, and he went skydiving in the morning and scuba diving in the afternoon.
Oh my God.
And the decompression between the two had, by that, when he was scuba diving, the decompression from being up in the altitude and coming and then doing the scuba diving, his heart like exploded or whatever and died. That was
hours apart, right? I mean, you didn't skydive into the water.
But they were saying that because the body didn't have time to adjust with the pressures and so forth from being up in the air, from skydiving and going down. Whole family was with them. It was.
I'll have to remember never to do that.
Yeah, it was crazy. But that, like you were saying about that dude scuba diving like that or whatever, the pressure on him. When we were down in where were we? We were out off there in Mexico. We went scuba diving, snorkeling. It was snorkeling. We went snorkeling, and we're out in the waters there, and there's an airplane. There was an airplane on the bottom of the seafloor, you know.
Yeah.
And the guy was talking about that was a drug running thing that was shot down, blah, blah, blah. And like I said, the water was so crystal clear. I'm like looking, it looks like it's only 3 feet or 4 feet from you.
Nope.
So I take a deep breath and I start going down. And thank God, I don't even know why I remembered this or whatever, but I go all the way down. And I touched the plane and I could just feel the pressure. And luckily, I just realized you have to come up slowly because my ears popped and everything, and came up, and I was like, "Holy crap! I can't believe that!" And the guy goes, "I can't believe you made it all the way down there." He says that's like, he goes, "That's like 50 feet down or something."
50 feet with no air supply, huh?
And I was like, he said it's like something like 50 feet, and I said it can't be that far, but when I looked up, everything was like, small like that,
Got some good lungs, man.
I was like, man, I was in pain. I was like, man, that's it. I'll sit the rest of the time out because I was like, I thought I was going to explode.
That's impressive. Yeah.
But he goes, yeah, a lot of people try to go down there and they don't make it. He goes, I can't believe you made it down there. And I was like, dude, I can't believe I made it back up because I was like, you could just feel your ears, like your whole, like my head was like going to explode.
Forget your ears; it's your lungs. You only have a. I was just watching a movie on Showtime. It was a true story about this kid who was like one of the world's most accomplished surfers, and there was this guy who was older than him who became his mentor, and he was training him to surf these crazy waves it only happens a certain time of year out in California. And he was training himself to hold his breath, and he was getting up to like 4 minutes, and he did it. I mean, the kid was like only 15. I think he was 17 when he set the world record. But yeah, he was doing all this kind of endurance stuff because when you wash out on the wave, you're under that water and you're staying there.
Yep.
So he had to train, and he did it. But
I had that one time. We were body surfing, and man, I got hit up on top, and I didn't think I was ever going to come back up, dude. I was like, time I got back up to the surface of the water, I thought I had seen everything flash by me on that one. Was so I it was terrible. That was kind of scary.
Yeah, it can be very scary. Yeah,
that was funny. To be young and dumb again.
Right.
That's awesome.
Right. I wish.
I hope you make it to being old and stupid.
Yeah, I know.
I got a lot of stuff completed quickly when I was young and dumb.
Yeah.
Now it's like, talk about thinking twice before you do anything. It's like, I don't know about that.
Right.
Now it's slow and methodic.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it's like, I can't concentrate anymore. I'm losing interest here.
Slow and steady wins the race.
That's when you say, hey, kid, come here for a minute.
I don't have anybody to come here. I have to do it. I got to get it done.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. Hey, kid, come here. That's funny. Yeah, that was fun, though. That was great because we went and we had a scuba diving thing, and they had some canyon thing that you went down. I don't know. You went down like about 15 feet, and you went up under, and then you were under the land, under the peninsula, and you just wade along the water, and it had these holes in the top, and you could look up, and you're just down through this national park thing. It was really wild.
That's cool.
That was a fun time. Too bad. That's when we were following this trail. We were going up this side of the mountain, and we just kept walking, and all of a sudden he came out, and there's this dude standing there. He says, "Okay, jump." And it's like, what do you mean jump? And you look over, and you're like, no, we're going back down. And he's like, no. You walk all the way up, you jump. So I jump off the side of the cliff into the water.
Wow.
I said, man, I said, I'm pretty heavy. I'm not going to hit the bottom. He goes, oh no, it's very deep there. Don't worry. And I was like, okay. My wife goes, because I'm afraid of heights, dude. I'm afraid of standing up. You know what I'm saying? So she's like, you're not really going to jump. And I said, we're going to jump. I said, where else? I mean, you ain't going to do this anywhere else. You're jumping off the side of a mountain into the water. We're going to jump.
How high were you?
Yeah, how
I
far
don't
was
know.
it?
You were up there. It was pretty damn high.
And it's that weird feeling, once you jump
Yeah.
and you're on your way down, time changes and it feels like forever, and you get that electricity
hardest
flowing through your body, and it's like, what the fuck am I
the
doing?
guy the first thing when the guy said goes, jump and try to stay straight. And so I jump and like your legs wanted to come out. And I'm like trying to stand straight because I knew when you hit the water,
right?
You don't want to be laid out. You want to be
belly
straight
flopping. Yeah,
water don't compress too easily.
And he had said that you want to dive off. You don't want to jump off. And I was, of course, the whole time I'm like, dude, I don't want to dive off. And if it's not deep enough, I don't want to do a plow driver. I don't want to run into, I don't want to
go bad the other way. You hit your feet. If you would hit your feet on something solid, it would still go right up the spinal column. And
and man,
you got to point your toes.
And so I'm like, fighting my feet, and I go right in. And the wife is standing up there. I'm like, just jump, stay straight. And she's like, yeah, right. And she jumps. And then I'm thinking, we're in Mexico, and like, if you splatted on that. And like you said, fucked up your spinal cord or anything, like you're really going to be, well, I mean, like there ain't like nobody around. Like, what are you going to do? I'm like, God, that was crazy.
That'd be the last place on earth I'd want to do something screwy. Is Mexico.
So you only got a couple of weeks before Expo, right?
Yeah, we got 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's coming up.
Be out in Vegas at the we're at Caesars this year. So this time.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Go
I like
walk around in the
Caesars.
Caesars shops.
Yeah, I like Caesars. A lot of people don't like it.
Stop off at one of those big giant gelato stands.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean
60 different flavors.
Yeah.
Nice. But let me tell you something. You get a cup or a cone over there. It's like $11, $12.
Oh yeah, man. I'm surprised. They some people don't like. They say Caesars is too old or whatever. But I love
Caesars. Is cool.
I like Caesars. And
there's so many buildings in Caesars. You know?
So
and did you ever see that when you walk through the mall and then you get to the end? It's like a circle of stores, and there's this mountain.
Yeah.
And there's this like show that's made out of like 3D animation stuff and statues that pop up out of it. And there's like water that they project laser lights onto water, and it's like this whole like I don't know what you'd call it, like some sort of the god of water kind of a show.
Yeah, mythological Greek thing or whatever.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so hopefully, like I said, I don't know. Like I said, I hope everything goes good. I mean, between mom, and everything else in the world going on, I don't know. Like I said, and I don't even know what to expect when we get there.
Watch out for the bums.
Yeah, I mean, with the whole COVID and I don't even know about how many vendors, what kind of stuff. Like I said, it's just it's a crapshoot.
It's not the same Vegas you were at last time. That's for sure.
So
there's homeless people sleeping all up and down Las Vegas Boulevard.
Yeah,
out in front of the stores there.
Yeah,
it's sad. It's really sad. When we were there last time, when we stayed at the Venetian, and then to go to the convention center, we use that
Monorail.
That monorail that they have.
Yeah.
So I got to come out of the Venetian and walk about 2 blocks to the next resort, and there's a monorail station there.
Yeah.
And I mean, we watched some guy overdosed right there on the sidewalk, and
Wow.
cops were, and the ambulance was there to grab them up, but there was like 10 of them.
Yeah.
They were sitting like this, like all crashed out, and then this one dude started having conniptions right there on the sidewalk, and
Yeah.
Bar was like, "Oh my God, it's
Yeah,
like
we stayed
not
at the
same."
Venetian. Yeah, we stayed at Venetian one. That was nice too. I like the Venetian.
Venetian's awesome. I love that place.
And then we had what's that? The Paris. We were at the Paris twice.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
there
do
was
yourself a
one
favor
more.
when you get some free time. Go up the block to that new place that just opened, Resorts World.
Uh-huh.
Go walk around in there.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And the place isn't even finished.
Oh, really?
It's open, but it's not fully open for business. And we were talking to some people there, and they said it's not going to be completed until like August.
Mm.
This place is huge. It's ridiculously huge.
Yeah.
It's 3 hotels within one facility.
Wow.
3 separate hotels.
So
Like,
in
wow.
that complex, I guess there's restaurants and stores and
Yeah,
shops
and
shit.
a lot of space that hasn't even been rented yet.
Yeah.
It's multi-stories. It's unreal.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
we'll
Brian,
see
what's
what
on
happens.
what's on your hit list for tools? You have anything? What are you looking for? Or do you just go by what's on special?
Well, I'm gonna try. They have a. I'm planning, or I've got a. I'm gonna try to. I'm planning out. I'm gonna have 3 themes of specials coming up, and it's gonna basically like. It's going to be we have a lot of deals with broken bolts type stuff, drill, extractors, taps and eyes. So I'm going to have like the oh shit moment, and then working at it, and then with each of these each of these themes, there's going to be a prize. I'm going to have a contest driven.
Okay.
The first one is, with the oh shit, and I'm going to have 4 or 5 different types of stuff. One's going to be some extractors, some drill bits, stuff like that to take out, and you're going to win you have a 1 in 15 chance or a 1 in 20 chance. It's probably going to be a gift card along with a one of those big ass sledgehammers, so you just beat the shit out of it when you don't get it.
Nice.
And then the I give up, or what the hell. I'm gonna have a fishing rod, fishing rod. F this. I'm gonna go fishing instead. So I have that group of tools, and then. I'm gonna have that. You got it out, and I'm gonna have a barbecue grill type setup type thing, and I've got 3 setups. That's gonna be 1 in 15 type chance of winning.
Nice.
So I just got a few fine tune a few things, and then I'll have those, and I'll have it set up in the truck for that. If it's going. I just got to do the time. I don't know how about the time, but
right,
3 to 5 weeks in between each one. And then other than just, I usually use the expo for trying to restock the truck,
right,
and so forth.
Just to back up before we forget, if you have that set of 3 sockets on super special sale, throw them in my box.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I got to talk to you about something. This probably isn't the forum to do it, but we're here. I got to do one of the car we have it's a knockaround. It's got a check engine light. I got to change the cat. And every year I've been getting it to pass and saying, oh, good, I got a whole nother year to do it.
Another year, yeah.
And like this year, it ain't happening. Now it's like it's up in February. So I was looking on Rock, and it's like they have a budget priced cat, because I don't want to put a lot of money into this thing. It's just a secondary car, but it's like not for sale in California or New York. So I'm thinking I got to find somebody out of state who I can maybe have.
Yeah, that's not a problem. The only thing you got to watch out for on some of these aftermarket cats, you end up still having a check engine problem. They don't. Yeah, they're. Actually, I had I was in a shop today, and the guy was like, it was a Prius, and of course those are a hot commodity on catalytic converters. I mean, everybody loves. I mean, a cat on a Prius is going on the secondary market or for scrap for about $1,500.
Really? Wow.
And so these cars are getting hit, and then of course they stay away from the aftermarket ones because Toyota does not have any factory cats because they're on national back order. So when you put an aftermarket one in, there's like a $1,200 aftermarket one and a $600 aftermarket one. And everybody goes to the $600 one, and they still have the codes. The efficiency is not there, and they have check engine light problems.
See, that's what I was getting. I was getting threshold efficiency, and I looked at mode 6 data, and it was like just there. So 1 year I put in. Actually, I used guaranteed to pass.
Yep,
and it worked.
Yeah.
Just
use rubbing alcohol.
Didn't work the next year though.
Just use rubbing alcohol.
Rubbing alcohol, huh?
So you just pour it into the engine?
Isopropyl alcohol?
Yep. Pour in the tank.
Oh, okay. Because I have an aftermarket cat in there now. It's a Bosal.
Damn cheaters.
We're talking about it's a Mazda. So it's the front cat that comes right off the exhaust manifold.
Yeah.
And funny, I think there's like 8 or 10 studs that mount it. So I got the replacement part, and there was a thin stainless steel gasket that went between the cat and the exhaust manifold. So I saw what they did is they just took bolts and welded them around the outside of the cat on the replacement. I said, okay, well, that'll work. But I couldn't get that stainless steel ring to fit over all the studs. Some of them were off by like a millimeter. Yeah. So what I had to do is I had to punch that stainless steel ring with a punch set to widen them to make it fit over those studs. And then to make the studs fit up into the exhaust manifold flange, which is cast, they wouldn't go right in either. So I had to sit there and start drilling the exhaust manifold flange and said, one wrong, twist, grab of the drill, this thing cracks now. But I got it. I got it to fit. So, I mean, that's what's in there now. It's like I said, that is an aftermarket, so it didn't last as long as the original.
Some of the newer aftermarkets are nothing but trouble. I mean, that's what happened because this guy was in this other shop, and he's like, "Well, we took it back 3 times, and they put cats on. They had to replace the cat 3 times."
Yeah,
and here we are. We're right back with the same problem again. And he's like, the owner of the shop was like, "Look, because of the cost and the aftermarket cats, we have a lot of problems. But, we've had luck with this brand. Unfortunately, you're looking at X amount of more money."
Right.
And so that's one of the big problems that people are having because, of course, you can't get anything except for the cheaper stuff. And then, of course, you still have the same problem. I mean, you still have the low efficiency.
I bought this one from the parts store up the block. I would have brought it right back to them, but it was like Saturday afternoon already. I knew they weren't going to have another one.
Yeah.
And I would have put the old one back in, and I said, screw it. I'll just make it fit. And then I wrote to Bosal, because that's a big company. They sell a lot of exhaust.
Made the cats that I put in the van.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bosal. That's the ones I bought from Rock Auto.
Right. And I ran down the problem, told them what I had to do, and figured, okay, let's see what they do. I mean, you never know what they're going to do. They're going to, send you something, give you, a gift certificate, or just at least acknowledge. They didn't even
Right.
freaking acknowledge the
Yeah.
email. I was like, thanks a lot. And then I wrote to Rock. No, I'm sorry, I didn't get it through Rock, the distributor. Nobody wanted any part of it. I'm like, you sons of bitches. You know, that's great. That's nice. You spend your
Yeah.
money and you get like, you get nothing.
Yeah.
You get the high hard one.
Yep.
You know, bastards.
Yeah, that's terrible. I mean, that's those things are, like I said, are problems, and I can't tell you how many shops deal with that. You know, they'll get an aftermarket cat, and of course, you know, it's 2 weeks later the guy's back. It's the same issue, and then they had to go through the BS with the manufacturer saying, "Hey, this cat's effed up," and you know, go through all that shit. So
Isopropyl rubbing alcohol.
yeah.
There you go.
Just dump the whole thing in there.
Like octane booster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a feeling it's gonna need more than this though.
No, it doesn't take much.
Really?
I mean, I think I poured half, and my Audi was the same way because they didn't have in the state of Maryland. You know, they never used Knox. They never had that in the formula for yay or nay, and then eventually they started putting Knox in, and that car didn't have an EGR system on it, so that it would get too hot. And of course, then it would fail if I sat too long. If I sat too long and waiting to get tested, then it would fail.
Yeah.
And they would say, you need these. And I was like, there's nothing wrong with it, dude. I don't have an EGR. Well, you got to have an EGR. I said, the car doesn't have an EGR system on it. And I sat here too long, and that's why I got hot. Luckily, the one place that I went to, the guy had the same car that I had. And I would walk in, he said, I'll come back tomorrow morning. Because, you know, before we, you know, and we'll get you right in and you'll pass, and it would pass, but it would have that. So I learned with the rubbing alcohol, and that seemed to get it through and by.
That'd be
Don't
amazing.
ask me how it works. Don't ask me how it works.
Well, if this works, I will let you
Changes
know.
the I don't know what it does. Changes the efficiency of the stoichiometric.
The stoic,
ratio.
yeah, 'cause it's looking for stoic is right.
Yep,
Exactly right.
Exactly. That's what it does. It makes it burn
Yeah.
at a different temperature.
Right.
So that was, you know, like I said, that type of thing. And so if I couldn't get there early enough, or if I had to sit, then, you know, I would come back.
Just watched the video from Import Car News tonight, and they said it was a cat video, and they said there's only two things that kill a cat. They either get burned to death or they get poisoned. And they meant by, you know, either they get overheated when stoic is out and the mixture is too rich and hot and fat, or like head gasket leak with coolant or whatever, and you know,
Or a motor that burns oil.
or oil, right?
Yeah.
Right. Either one of those.
I'm waiting for the motor in the van, in the old van, to pollute that stuff. The guy's dumping close to a quart of oil a week into the motor.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
no good.
smoking. It's not smoking, but it smells.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, those cats are really working hard burning that stuff.
Yeah, right.
Get some cat test pipes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Since we don't have any kind of pollution type of testing,
perfect.
I'll just take it to the muffler shop and run straight pipes with a muffler.
Yeah.
So why'd you bother putting cats in it last time?
I don't know.
Okay.
I shouldn't have.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, like I said, the only problem that you might have, or the only thing would be a check engine light on. You don't have anything. You don't have a yearly or anything to check.
Yeah, because you'd get a PO 420 is what you'd get.
They don't do anything here in Florida.
Oh. Yeah.
Right. Is that a painted plate behind you?
Painted plate. Oh, that's my new. I just got that today. Here, look.
I knew it was new. How did I know? Spot the new things. It's a Jasper. Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
They make good rebuilds.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, I was talking. The Jasper rep was in one of my shops, and he was handing out, the signs and padded paper and so forth. Are you still there?
Yeah, we're here.
Oh, okay. So he was handing them out, and I said, "You got any
You
extras?"
saw us, right?
Huh?
You saw us sitting here, right?
Yeah. But I was like, am I muted, or I'll make sure I didn't hit myself
No,
on mute?
we were being polite and letting you talk.
Oh, okay. So I figured I'd have a new sign to hang up in the garage.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Jasper's
Since
cool.
1942, I didn't know that.
Wow.
Yeah, 1942.
Wow,
I kind of
they've been around
liked it.
since the war.
Yeah, right at the beginning of
I
World
like
War II.
I like the little guy.
Yeah.
Is he a cat?
No, he's a military guy.
It looks like a mill. I mean, well, he's
He
an
is.
old gas station. It was an old gas station.
Oh, I
outfit.
see. Yeah, the gas station attendant, right?
But they
Yeah.
look military.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the hat, like a
With
corporal
the hat, and he's got a wrench in his hand. But
Nice. That's cool.
so I like the red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
And so forth.
That's neat.
Nice.
And it's got that aged look. It's too bad it's just, stamped metal, but I'll hang it up in the garage here, find a place for it.
Cool.
Nice.
Someplace in my wall.
Yeah.
Actually, what I really want to do, I have a handful of that stuff. Of course, as you can tell, I have a handful of a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But I'd like to clear coat that into the floor.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's
would be
what
really cool.
That's what I got. That's what I'm still. That's the ultimate dream, I guess. I want to put that epoxy clear coat seal or whatever.
Right.
And then I got 15, 20, 30 different signs like that, and just
Okay.
kind of lay it out and then epoxy it in. But of course, part of me would be if I ever moved or decided I don't want to leave it.
It'd be jackhammering up the floor.
Yeah, yeah. So that's my problem. That's why I guess I've never done it. I've come close a couple times, but I can't commit because of course, I don't know why I'd say I'd leave. I've been here for 26 years or whatever, 27, however long I've been here. 20, let's see here, Brianna's 22, 23, 24, almost 25 years.
I'm here 38.
So
38. 35. Yeah, whatever. Long time.
yeah. So I don't know why. That's why every once in a while I get it in me. I'm just going to go ahead and do what I want to do, and I'm not going to go anywhere. Then I start doing it, and I'm like, man, what if I want to take that down?
Yeah. I know.
So it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
That's why they call me Thumbtack Johnny.
Why is that?
Because I put everything up with thumbtacks,
Oh,
so I can
thumbtacks.
take it right down.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because like at my parents' house, at mom's house, in the garage, I wrote everything on the wall. I mean, all the numbers and names, and I wrote everything on the wall.
Mom's garage. I have that when I was building the Firebird in my mom's garage, and my father built me a workbench out of a spare door that he had.
Yeah.
And he put a 2x4 on the wall, and he mounted the door. And then what he did was he put an eyelet in on, because it went into the corner. So it was 2x4 and then 2x4. So it was supported there. And then on the side that was open, he put an eyelet in it, and he put a chain with an eyelet up in a beam in the ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
And the workbench had to be high enough that my mother's
Get the car
nose
under.
of my mom's caddy would go under it when
Right.
she parked the car inside. So, and I used to write stuff on the wall right there. There was a pegboard, and there was still some sheetrock that was available, and I would write numbers, speed shops and camshaft number and the whole deal. And there's stickers, because right next to where that workbench is the door that opens up to the boiler room. So, and those are the doors that it's a wooden door, but they put metal on both sides.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess they're
fire-rated.
fireproof, right?
Yeah.
And there's all these decals that I got by buying speed parts, Excel, STP, all of that crap. That stuff's still there to this day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Well, my dad was funny because he's like, why can't you write this down on a pad of paper?
Yeah, right.
And I was like, Dad, I'd lose it. And he goes, well, why are you writing on my wall? And I was like, because we're not going to lose the house.
Right.
It's right. And to this day, it's all there. I was actually, when I was going to pick Mom up from the hospital, I'd gone over there and dropped the tool truck off and got her car. And I was standing there in the garage and I was looking at all these numbers, all the numbers. And I was like, man, I cannot believe that when I moved out that, my dad didn't paint over it or, whatever, because it drove him crazy for writing on the wall,
When I sold my mom's house, I'm going through things last time, and in the garage, my brother did that when he built the Nomad, and there was all sorts of stuff. It lives, and he put the time and the date.
Yeah.
And I said, it was a separate garage, but we had sheetrocked it. And I said, I just took a saw and I just hacked out that hunk of sheetrock, and I have it here somewhere. I don't even know where the hell it is, but I brought it here. So I'll find it one of these days.
That's funny. It's at my aunt's house, my dad's sister, down in the basement, we used to have Christmas. We always went over there for Christmas. And every year, that's where everybody was measured. On the door, against the door. So, we had this, and of course, my cousin, her daughter, she was extremely tall. She was tall, so she was always ahead of everybody, in height. And so my dad had written at the very top, he had written Big Bird. For the tallest person there, so she wasn't the tall, So that's for years, every kid was measured on that. And then, of course, when she had passed and the house was being sold, my dad had ripped that door channel out, and it was kind of funny seeing that. But I've thought about the same thing. I said, man, because my mom's talking about, downsizing and, moving, getting the house, and I was like, man, I might have to cut this wall down and just take this piece of sheetrock out, and
right,
because there's I had all kinds of stuff written down on there.
Hey,
it's
at least
crazy.
it's on sheetrock, not plaster.
Yeah,
can't take that out clean.
No, but it's funny. That drove my dad crazy. He's like, why do you have to write on the wall?
Yeah, but you just laid it all out. He was just as bad. He just wouldn't admit it because he did this. Not only did he preserve the door jamb from when you were growing up, he preserved yours that he was complaining about. So he wasn't that bad.
That was funny. I was waiting. But that's what I have. It's like I always want to do that with. I got like, I don't know. There are almost 20 years of Hot Rod magazines, and that's what I wanted to do with the covers. The cover of the magazines, just either lay them in the floor or lay them on the wall and put them in the wall type thing. I got tons. I tell you, it's disgusting how many magazines I got.
No, me too. And I was saving them if it had a good article, and then a few years ago, what I started doing is just razoring out those articles. I took a drawer to file cabinet and I made file folders and, broke it up, ignition, carburetor, headers, whatever.
Sure.
Just file them like that. I'll probably never look at them.
It was funny when you were talking about that. I don't know what I did with it, but when we were talking about that a couple of weeks ago, I came across a folder full of things. I did the same thing.
Yeah.
And then I was mad. I wish I'd kept the whole magazine because, like I said, of course, a lot of that stuff, I like the covers just alone, So,
Great advertisements too.
oh yeah, advertisements. It's crazy.
Actually, I got one that I was going to send you guys, and I will send it to you now. Let's see. Let's do this again. Talk about early cruise control or early GPS.
Oh yeah.
Check out this this GM ad from, I think it was from the early '80s. It was like Oldsmobile or something.
Did you send it? Oh yeah, there it is.
It took a while to get through the tunnel. It got stuck.
Oh yeah, look at that. That's funny,
right?
Yeah,
it's like Oldsmobile from the early '80s. Like, man, somebody was thinking of the future.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, I like I said on on those it's like I have shit.
That's freaking
30,
awesome.
Yeah.
I probably got 20, well actually more than that because I have a lot. I mean, I got from 45 to from the end of the Second World War all the way up to 90 something in Time magazines.
In Time, wow.
Did you read the?
I didn't read the whole print. No.
It's on. It says here, son, and you'll be able to drive cross country without a road map and never get lost.
Yeah.
And it was the guidance through the ERGS, the Electronic Route Guidance System.
They still use that today. I still hear that. Who
Really?
says that? Electronic route guidance system. That's used today.
Isn't that like for
Somebody
emergency
says
vehicles
that.
or something?
Who?
Isn't that emergency vehicles or isn't that that's like a two-way radio thing or not?
I know
two-way?
I've heard it recently. Like they're still using that term. I got one for you, Brian. My buddy, a guy that I knew, he was living in Brooklyn at the time, and he was moving to Tennessee, and he had like 1,000 model kits, but he wanted to sell them like in bulk because he didn't want a onesie and twosie them.
Yeah.
So I didn't get any of those, but he had a bunch of magazines, and me and my buddy Kevin went in there on a weekend, and we cleaned them out, filled the back of my car.
That's amazing. Is there any kind of date as to when that ad came out?
No.
So I'm looking around at stuff. It's like time to change insurance companies and things.
Uh-huh.
And we've had Geico for years, and I've never complained about it.
Right.
And then we called Farmers.
Oh, yeah. We are farmers.
Yeah. And exact same coverage that I already have, and I have very heavy coverage. And it was almost half the price to the penny.
Wow.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. I'm like, wow.
Wow.
So, yeah. So I've been paying a boatload of overpriced insurance for probably at least the last year or so.
It definitely pays to check occasionally.
Yeah. So I'm swapping.
That was how I got my Time magazine. Most of my the stuff from the 50s and 60s was I was taking driver's ed in summer school at John F. Kennedy High School. And one day I'm waiting for my mom to pick me up. And I see this guy come out from the school building, and he's got this hand cart, and they're in boxes. There are boxes stacked up on his hand cart. Well, when he went to stop, the boxes fell over, and all these Time magazines come out. They were cleaning out the library.
Yeah.
And I stand there, and I was like, "What are you going to do with those?" And he says, "I'm going to throw them away." And I said, "I'll just leave them here." My mom pulled in. I said, "Open the trunk."
Open the trunk. There's a guy down here.
I had these wheels.
Yeah.
SSTs.
Yeah.
I got the first set on Long Island.
I like the Richie Zool ad. I thought that was great. Richie Zool needs your help.
Yeah. When I got the new paint job on the Firebird, I put SSTs on it.
Yeah. There's a junkyard by me down here, Freeport Auto Wrecking. And the guy, Jimmy, that runs, well, he sold it, but he had a whole little junkyard collection in there. He's a collector of signs and everything. American Pickers actually showed up there and they wanted to pick his yard, and he kicked them out. He says, "Get the hell out of here. I don't sell my stuff." He goes, "I collect it." So I'm in there one day.
How did you find out about him?
Somebody told him about him. So anyway, I'm in there one day, and he always had new stuff. There was always stuff coming and going, and and these shopping carts. He goes, "You see the shopping carts in the shop?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, I saw them when I walked in." He goes, "Did you look at them?" I'm like, "No." I go and I look, and there's all these bundles of car magazines tied with twine, dated, just in bundles, like a year to a bundle. And he had 4 shopping carts filled. I was like, "What's that?" He goes, "There's an old guy, been collecting these things forever. So one of his buddies was there. He wanted to take some of them for some art project. And he says to me, 'If you want some, take them. Take what you..." So I got them over here. I grabbed 8 or 10 bundles. And I opened one up, and they were all dated, all in month order. It's like this guy just saved everything. And they're old, from the 60s. It's like, wow. It's really cool going through them, because then you read them. I throw them in the bathroom, and then you read it. It's like, you see what was going on in the 60s. Yeah, it's like, old popular hot roddings. This is a newer one, actually. This would be from, this is May 80. Yeah, this is new. But I got some of the old ones around here somewhere.
I've got two 5-shelf steel shelving, 5-shelf steel, 2 of them, and they're double thick, and they're all hot rod.
Right.
And they're all month to whatever back here. And then all my Time magazines are all over at my mom's still in my old room. They're just all piled in there. I mean, all stacked the same way. I got Winston Churchill Man of the Year. All that stuff is crazy. And then, of course, when my dad was on all the presidential details, he had them all signed. Whoever.
Oh, nice.
So I got.
Nice cool.
That's good.
I got Ford, Betty Ford, Reagan, Nancy, the Bushes. Bush number 1.
That's great. HW.
What's that guy? Mondale.
Oh, Mondale. Yeah, Walter Mondale.
Carter.
Well, that's the autographs are worth something.
I can't remember who else.
I just cough.
Uh-oh. Sound the alarm.
Oh, no. Whoop, 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 whoop. Right.
Wait a minute. Where's I gotta spray this USB port. I don't want nothing coming through.
Yeah, I get some alcohol on it. We'll just spray
That's it, man. Yeah,
we're drippy nasal thing going on.
Yeah, drip. That's it, man. Get that hand sign. Stick out your tongue, John. I'm gonna give you a little squirt.
Squirt. Oh shit.
No, I went to the doctor.
Well, boys,
Yeah.
I gotta
Time to
get ready
go.
to run some credit cards tomorrow. I hope I have this whole week's been a cluster. I tell you.
Yeah. Well,
Hey, how many cups you want, Ray?
oh geez. How
Are you
many
gonna break any more? Do I need to keep you on do I need to do a 3-week back thing on you?
I know, just
Did you glue it back together?
I could. I was gonna thinking about gluing this to another cup. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna glue this to another like this white one here. I'll just take that and
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll just it. I mean, you would. I knew you would appreciate it. It was like I stood up from here and I had to get my phone and the cup and some papers and something else I brought with me, and everything's going under my arms and over here and up my nose, and I got to shut the lights off, and it just boom, right out of my hands. It crashed right on the floor. I'm like, oh fuck. It's like my stomach just sank. I was like, no. Why couldn't the phone fall? Why couldn't something else fall? Why does my new cup have to fall?
Yeah.
And I tell you, it's thick. It made a very weird sound. It wasn't like shattering glass. It was almost like this low, just like a ceramic. You just heard it fall apart. It just went like
the
this.
The funny part about that, Ray, the reason why I sent you 2, in case one broke.
There you go.
That's because I hate. Because we have for Christmas time, we could buy. They give us a deal on buying 24 of the mugs, and they're usually not super fancy or as big. They're like regular coffee mug size,
like the other one I have. Yeah,
and so when we order them, I always say, when somebody says how many should I order, I say, well, you want to order 2 cases,
right?
They're packed better because they put them in. It's just not the 1 case or a half a case, where they take it out of what it comes in.
Right.
You just buy the whole case, and usually you have at least a percentage of them comes broken. So if you only get half a case and half of them break, you're kind of then you're playing that game again about ordering, filing the claim, and then what comes in, and so I've just learned and I said I'll send Ray 2, that way in case it breaks he has one. And
it's funny because I'm really careful with my stuff, especially the stuff that I wanted, that I take care of all my stuff.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, like with the other one, I was gonna gift it to either Junior for his birthday coming up, or that guy Derek. I said, you know what, I should share the wealth here. It's like, what am I gonna do with the second one? I mean, and I would literally have no problem leaving her on a shelf and just, I have no problem doing that. But I thought, maybe I should be a little benevolent and pay it forward. Brian's taking care of me. Maybe
this is what happens with all mine.
Well, yeah, we all got, I got a couple of those too. But I thought, maybe I should be benevolent and pay it forward, and that's what I was going to do. And then it broke, and I'm like, oh, I can't give him my only one now. Like, I can't be that benevolent,
Yeah, no, I was like
Jesus, my stomach just sunk. I was like, you fucking idiot.
But I had more coming, but I got 2 here, so I'll throw them in with your sockets.
All right, well, get your stuff together. Now that that Unibit that you showed last week, is that a regular Unibit, or was that specific for
specific? That's specific for nut drivers.
Okay, good. All right, because I thought of it afterwards, and I have Unibit sets, but if it's specific, then that's good.
Yeah, it's specific for it. Actually, it's upstairs with your mug.
All right.
I was going to try. That's what I was looking for when we were talking. I thought I left it down here, but I took it all up. And hopefully, it's up there. And like I said, I had some more coming. Those mugs were really nice.
Yeah, very nice. I know. I like it. I was like,
I think it's like, I think it was because it was a little bigger. It's like
15 ounces.
13?
15.
15. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a nice size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I noticed that's what I usually don't use my other mugs because they're too small. I mean, I'm constantly filling them up. I mean, you know, I just can't sip my coffee. I gotta guzzle it.
Gotta drink it.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Oh well.
All right, boys.
All right,
well, let's
guys.
we'll see how Lewis Lee makes out this weekend with the big bus, with the big schoolie project. See if we can tune in and see. That's if I'm not under Snowmageddon over here.
Yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen.
I hope not. I hope it goes out to sea. Let the East End get it. They deserve it.
I hope you guys get buried.
Yeah, it's
that's not nice, Johnny.
Hey, watch out.
And then you have
hit
an ice storm on top of it.
You're going to get hit with a freaking iguana. 30-pounder is going to hit you. And we're going to laugh.
They're more East Coast than West Coast. So
Are they illegal to barbecue?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Is it like a lot? Like, what is it like a langostino? You got to crack them from the bottom to get to the soft underbelly.
I don't know. I was just curious if anybody, if you guys ate them down there, if they were endangered, or if you couldn't hunt them or whatever.
Well, you get
they're
those
everywhere on the East Coast.
You get
they're
those
like pests.
You get those little skinks too. Those little guys that shoot across.
Yeah, that's what we have. We have the tiny little ones called they're anoles. ANO.
Oh, right.
Are they like little lizard things?
Yeah, they're like this big.
I can always picture some old redneck meth head with one of them on a skewer over a fire. You know, it's like freaking.
Yeah, it's weird that that they're all basically East Coast based.
Yeah.
Those things that fall out of the trees, but they come in every size you could think of. I mean,
right. Well, it was said on the news. They said
when my brother-in-law had a house on the Intercoastal, he had like 4 or 5 of them that were like 4 feet long, living on his dock.
They said some of them were 30 pounds.
Yeah.
So a 30-pound.
Like so weird. They just sit there all day basking in the sun.
Well, so that's what I'm saying. Like a 30-pound half frozen block that falls out of a tree. That's gonna that's gonna dent your head.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's no fun.
Crazy.
Very
Fact. Hear them hitting the ground. Like
yeah.
Like you said, they wake up when they're like, "Hey, how did I get down here?" But you got to think, like, wouldn't it like break fuck them up, break their back, or do some kind of damage?
Maybe some of them, I'm sure.
Maybe they're stronger than we think. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, they're related to the dinosaurs, so.
Right.
They're reptiles. They've been around.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, they're reptiles. That's why they freeze.
They're very they're warm-blooded.
They're cold-blooded.
A cold blood, right? They don't have warm blood, right? They have cold blood.
So
they need the warmth. That's why, like, if you put them in an aquarium, you got to put a heated rock in there.
Yeah. They go into almost like a hibernation if it gets too cold.
That's
slow
what happens.
down. Some of them actually die.
Yeah.
But they'll.
Well, it's like koi in a koi pond up here. You just leave them, and the water freezes. They just go into suspended animation, and they'll stay there through the winter. In the spring, they're back to life again.
Sure.
It's
weird.
Kind of weird.
All right.
Yeah,
all right, boys. For Lewis Lee and the rest of the schoolie build, the only guys left: Motormouth Ray, Macro Man Brian, and Chassis John. But we're keeping it real, and we'll be back next week.
Down a fort.
Yep.
Okay, kids, play nice.
What do we say, John?
Don't follow me home if you know what's good for you.
That's right. All right. With that, I'll end the broadcast and we'll say goodnight. Bye.
See ya.